Stormblood. What was it? 4.1. Yeah, that's it. 4.1. I got it. I remembered. All right, let's get into it. First off, you got a new minion. One of the most outlandish theories recently posed by scholars of the void is that Ahrimans do not reproduce by typical sexual means, but rather by shedding tears, which eventually grow into new creatures. I wonder why they just have this as a theory. Like, why do you just assume that? Like, I mean, I guess the fact that no one's gotten close enough to see if they have there's male and female ones, but like, why else? What else would they do? Do they bud? I don't know. Whatever. Black Scorpion to sharpen one's wit. Ahriman membrane for the mind. Severine. Severine is the alchemist mentor. So that makes sense that he would know all that stuff. All right. Oh, and before I forget, what was it? New Game Plus. The liberation of Ala Mhigo signals the end of an era of tyranny. Here, on the cusp of a new age of freedom, her people must decide how they will greet their future and reconcile with their past. What path lies ahead for Lyse and her efforts to rebuild the nation? What choices plague Fordola from within her prison cell? And to where will Raubon return, now that the dream for his homeland has at last become a reality? I don't know, we'll have to figure it out. Yeah, let's go. Arenvald's adventure. Yes, by the way, this is like my favorite little thing ever, and I love it. And people don't like it, and I'm just sorry they have bad opinions. Lyse seems troubled. Alright, Lyse, lay it on me.
Come to see how we're getting on?
Heck yeah. Mm-hmm.
We've made good progress since we took back Ala Mhigo, but there's one big issue we still have to address. Leadership. The Domans had Lord Hien ready and willing to take the throne, but we've got no one like that here.
I mean, we've got Lyse as the leader of the revolutionaries, but I don't know if she's ready to punch people into being good, not bad. I mean, that doesn't sound like the thing a lot of kings would do, and yeah.
Theodoric was our last ruler, and he wasn't called the Mad King for nothing.
Yeah, and so you wouldn't want a person who just punches people for their answers as a leader at this point.
Suffice it to say, our people have had their fill of kings, which means we need to find a new way forward.
By the way, I loved that sigh, the little, the shoulder and then the sigh, like, they're really stepping up their character movements, character stuff, the cutscenes. They're really good. They're really getting upgraded.
If only it were that easy. Everyone and his uncle has an opinion.
What are you thinking?
For the time being, we're just going to have to keep leaning on General Aldin and the Alliance for support, and see if we can't find a solution together. Something tells me we're going to be hosting a lot of meetings in the near future.
Rip Lyse, that's like your least favorite thing.
But if that's what it takes, I'm ready to talk till my jaw aches.
Aww, I'm glad to hear it.
The reach is yours, Nago. Don't do anything I wouldn't.
Aye, aye, Commander.
There you are. I've been searching all over for you.
Hey, Arenvald, what's up?
Don't worry, it's nothing bad. That said, this might not be the best place to talk. Will you join me?
Sure. Hey, Seabook, how are ya? How you doing?
I'll get to the point. Might you be interested in a spot of adventure?
You're literally asking if the person who literally made her name on adventure wants to go on adventures? What?
After all, we were adventurers before we were scions, were we not?
Heck yeah! Fist bump! Some things those naughty Charlians just wouldn't be able to get.
After routing the Imperials and liberating Ala Mhigo, I reckon we've earned a bit of respite, don't you? And what better way to spend it than by returning to our roots?
Heck yeah!
So, what say you? Shall we call on Alphino and go adventuring?
Alphino? I guess. Twist my arm, why don't you? That little smirk. Calosa is ready. Right then. Let's go and find Master Leviura. Actually, leave that to me. I want you fresh for our little adventure. Wait for us by the Aetheryte, and we'll be along shortly. See you there. See ya! I was trying to decide if I wanted to swim across or just use the mount. Mount's technically faster, but swimming! Sorry, this isn't the song that's happening now. Greetings, Calosa. 'Twould seem we are to accompany Orenvold on some matter of escapade. Have you any idea what we've gotten ourselves into? Allow me to explain. It'll be something of a history lesson, but I'll try to be brief. No snoring, if you please. Oh, please, Alphino lives for this stuff. Now, the events I would speak of occurred before the occupation, back when Ala Mhigo was still a monarchy, and Theodric sat on the throne. Yeah, Mr. Mad King. A uniquely brutal despot, by all accounts. That he was. The King of Ruin suffered no rivals, real or imagined, and his dispute with the monks of the Fist ended with Rhalgr's Reach being burned to the ground. Yeah, essentially Theodric was like, hey, monks, you gotta become my private army of murdering people. And the monks were like, we're pacifists? No? And then he was like, okay then, I'm gonna use my other private army to murder all of you. And then all of the monks died. And that's actually a big story plot if you're doing the monk quest. So, there you go. Trying to revive the, like, it'll be like, I'm the final monk, and I'm teaching you how to monk. Now we will be the two monks looking for more monks. And that's it. That's the story. Anyway. In the latter years of his rule, he was seized by the unshakable belief that unseen forces were conspiring to steal the crown, and so he ordered that every soul with a claim to the throne be executed, including his own family. The wealth of the poor sods he put to death became the property of the king, and it's said that these royal treasures were hoarded somewhere in the palace. Thus was born the legend of the Mad King's Trove. I believe I see the direction our adventure is going to take. I assume you have a mind to unearth this hidden bounty. You assume correctly! And would I also be correct in assuming that this legend is widely known? Others must surely have gone in search of your prize, tempting as it seems. Well, of course we won't be the first to make the attempt. Following Ala Mhigo's liberation, more than a few eager soldiers turned the palace upside down in hopes of claiming an easy fortune. But even after scouring every room from dusk till dawn till dusk, go switch them around, I guess, they uncovered not a single coin. Their gold lust drained away as quickly as it had come, and the legend of the Mad King's Trove remained simply that, a legend. But I see you have no intention of letting the story end there. What self-respecting adventurer would? Imagine, the three of us, delving into a decades-old mystery. Tell me the thought doesn't set your heart to racing. Indeed! Leave it to me! Yeah! Let's do it! And so, oh yeah, I learned the emote box. Now I can box with people. Heck yeah! Time to box some fools. Come on, Arnvald, let's do it! Oh, yeah! Yeah, come on. Come on. Flow like a tiger, sting like a bee. I guess float like a tiger, sting like a wasp. I think that's what they're called in this one. Anyway, hey, what's up? If anyone can find that treasure, it's us. But even if we don't, the adventure will be enough reward, I reckon. Yeah, so, anyway, this is what I was going to mention before. I said that I really liked this one, and I do. Number one, everyone has been constantly, oh, hey, Alteron. Oh, da 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 da. Yeah, that's literally what we're doing. And then we're gonna take all that money and we're gonna say it belongs in the coffers so that we can build up our place, our new home. Spoiler alert. Anyway. The thing I was saying, I really like this adventure because, like, a lot of people, especially all the way even back in A Realm Reborn, it was always, wow, the Warrior of Light has to do everything. No one does anything. It's always some world-shattering murder attack, destructo's adventure from beginning to end. Everything's always exploding. And so Square Enix said, sure, okay. Let's make a small little story where Arenvald asks you to go on a, like, generic adventure that's basically Dungeons and Dragons. And then everyone said, but that doesn't count because it's boring! Guess what? It's not boring. They just have they're just bad. They're just bad. That's it. The coffers of selling to people to help rebuild a disparate nation is also known as a museum. That's true, Alteron. You can almost see the wheels in Alphanod's head. The wheels turning in Alphano's head. The news of Doma and Ala Mhigo's deliberation has kindled the flames of revolution in every corner of the Empire. I hear the Imperial Providence of Dalmasca has already risen up in rebellion. Hey, go check out the Evilise, Return to Evilise, because it's happening. Which means the Garleans must surely have their hands full. What better time than now to indulge in such a diversion? Tell us, Arenvald, have we any clues as to where we might begin our search? Well, judging by how the other treasure hunters fared, nosing about the palace isn't like to get us anywhere. So, we'll probably need to, ask around? Would that be another way of saying no? Yeah. Well, in that case, I shall pay a visit to the Allied Archivists and request access to the records seized from the Imperials. The Garleans are meticulous about such things. If they uncovered the trove during their occupation, the event is certain to have been recorded. In the meantime, the two of you can track down those who worked as palace servants and officials in Theodric's day. Given that they would have had at least 20 at a time, you will be looking for people who have seen 40 summers or more. Anything they can tell you about the king and his bloody deeds may prove useful, so be sure to listen well. Arenvald, pray try your luck in the fringes and the peaks, whilst Calosa takes the rounds in the Ala Mhigo quarter. Ha! And there I was thinking I was the party leader. Not that I mind, of course. Well, let's be about it, eh? We can meet afterwards at Gilbard's Gate. Mm-hmm. Alright, group, break! Time to go to the Ala Mhigo quarter, and I made sure to do priority Aetheryte pass so I would get a little extra time to go flying around these places for less money. Huh. No, Seabook, I didn't say that. I didn't say to leave. No, I said, how are you? You should hang out. Oh no, I'm gonna cough. Just a sec. I'm okay now. Hey, what's up? In the palace? No, not me, lass. Surely you've heard stories of the Mad King. He used to hold public executions up on the divine audience. Anyone, and I mean anyone, suspected of conspiring against the crown was flung from the top of those steps. Suffice it to say that I stayed far away from the palace as possible. The divine audience is right here. This was a statue. It's called the Destroyer. It was a statue of Ralger. I think it's like mostly broken down because, you know, Garleans don't want people looking at that stuff. But yeah, so these were the steps you could come up and be like, "Oh, great Ralger, please hear my prayers." And now there's a story. Oh yeah, I think if that one is, there's a bunch of ghosts. But that fate is a bunch of ghosts are there because they're all the ghosts of the people who were killed by getting thrown off the audience. You want to hear an old maid's stories, do you? Aye, well, most of what I know of that Mad King is common knowledge. We'd only see his royal majesty when he deigned to attend the executions he'd ordered, and after a while, even watching his enemies die wasn't enough to coax him out of hiding. They say he started seeing assassins in every shadow and wouldn't set foot outside the palace walls. I was offered work there as a royal servant once, but the mere thought of it left me in a cold sweat. Well, that's not gonna help. Oh, Calosa said, "Leave it to me." Ah, I see. Thanks. That's what he was saying, was I was saying, go away. No, Seabook, you can join. You're allowed. You can come with us. But I'll be there to help you. That's it. But, like, leave it to me to help you. I served as a pleasure of King Theodoric and lived to tell the tale. One of the palace guards I was. Truth be told, it was a dark chapter in my life and one I'd sooner forget. Hardly a night went by when we didn't hear blood-curdling screams echoing from the inner chambers, which, of course, we were under orders to ignore. Though we'd stand still as statues, trying not to imagine what horrors were unfolding within. If you're hell's bent on finding out what happened in the palace, head down the street and ask old Ernold. He was the king's head scribe. Maybe he knows something. Do we not deserve to be free? Yeah! I mean, no! Oh, what was it? Are we not men? That was it, yeah. Yeah, are we not men? Do we not bleed? Yeah, we don't! I mean, no! We do! It's a joke. Yes, I am Ernold. What do you want with me? Do you know anything about Mad King Theodoric? Yes, you would have me dredge up some decidedly unsavory memories. Yet if Ala Mhigo is to move forward, we must needs acknowledge the misdeeds of the past. Very well, I shall tell you what I remember. I take it you know of Theodoric's paranoia and the public executions of his kinsmen. Those were terrible enough, but in his last days, the king's fevered mind settled upon an even grislier method of disposal, which only a chosen few were unfortunate enough to witness. His Majesty ordered the court thaumaturge to unleash a vile curse upon the remaining members of the royal family, a magic which transformed them into fiends of hideous aspect. The resulting monstrosities were then cast into the darkness below the palace. Even now, my sleep is troubled by nightmares. If others of Theodoric's blood were prone to share his madness, they may happen as a kindness that the monarchy ended with him. What is it? Don't want to say anything, but probably a little bit due to the fact that there's probably a little bit of inbreeding going on over there. So yeah, maybe that madness was genetic. Alteron says that his headcanon is that this horrific screams end up happening inside the British royal palace, and that's why the English guard stays so still. Ha 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 ha. as a child he was bullied. They called him Blitzball Head. Was that a... What was that like a joke about Blitzball Kid? One day I'm gonna become a Blitzball? Was that his name in 10? Was that the kid's name? I thought it was just a kid. I'm confused! I'm sorry! Oh, hey, Arnold! Oh, I see. Arnold. Ah! Got it. And hey, Arnold, hey, his head was shaped like a football. Okay, I got it. I get it now. Arnold. I thought we were talking about the Blitzball kid from 10 who wanted to be a Blitzball. Anyway. Excellent timing as ever. We have but this moment returned from our own intelligence gathering efforts. Well, what's up, Arnold? Since we're all here, why don't we share what we've learned? Allow me to begin then. As promised, I scoured the Imperial records for any mention of fantastic treasures and found precisely none. It is just possible, I suppose, that a corrupt official deliberately hid the fact of the trove's discovery, hoping to enrich himself. But I find it rather unlikely that so valuable a find could stay secret for long. I conclude that our prize either does not exist or that the Imperials simply overlooked it. Well, what of you, Calosa? Were your investigations any more fruitful? Well, I mean, it was just a horror story. Some thaumaturs turned everyone into ghosts. Turned into monsters? What could he mean by this darkness beneath the palace, I wonder? I met an old man in Alagiri who spoke of the palace's subterranean prison, but he said not of cursed abominations. The Imperial archives are also silent on the subject of fiends inside the palace grounds. Could this scribe fellow have been spinning her a yarn, do you think? Did you believe him, Calosa? His fear seemed genuine. If he was afraid, that does lend credence to the tale, though I'm not sure how that helps us in our search. Do not be so hasty. Arnold's anecdote may very well have told us where the trove is hidden, but ere I share my theory, there is a matter I would clarify. Arnvald, you spoke of lighthearted adventure, but I sense a deeper motive for this expedition. Why are you so intent on finding this treasure? It wasn't an obscure joke, I just got my wires crossed. If I remembered, hey Arnold, I would have gotten it immediately, but oh well, it's fine. It wasn't all pretense, I swear it, but you're right. My father was in the Imperial Army, a man of Garlean blood. I trust you know what I mean when I say that my Ala Mhigo mother did not welcome my arrival. As I grew, she would check my brow over and over, convinced that a spot on my skin was an emerging third eye, just like the kind you see in pure-blood Garleans. My mother did not care for this taunting reminder of my heritage and took up a knife. War paint serves to cover the scar. In the end, she turned me out into the street, and I was left to haunt the alleyways of Ala Mhigo, a feral child who got what he needed through begging, cunning, or worse. The best I could say about the years that followed is that I survived, but I hated the animal I'd become. Eventually, I left the city behind me and joined a group of refugees bound for the other side of the wall. It was then that I turned to adventuring, and that road led me into the company of the Scions. I tell you this so that you understand. I know all too well what poverty and hunger can do to a person. I drew steel on ordinary folk for a measly crust of bread. With the Odric's gold, I could spare my countrymen the shame of living like that. Thank you, Arnvald, and I apologize. That cannot have been pleasant to recall, but I felt it best to be clear in our intentions. Well, Calosa, are you content to surrender the treasure to Arnvald's noble cause and claim the thrill of adventure as your reward? I mean, I've got millions of gil in the Sudra coffers. I think I'm okay. Then I should be glad to tell you my theory on the resting place of the Mad King's Trove. if you are minded to hear it. Yeah! And Aqua is saying that Hillel has been busy helping Lyse with helping Ala Mhigo set up. Just recently started Reaper training, so he's still sleepy. He's sleepy today, so he won't be joining us for the adventure. That's okay. Well, out with it. What's this theory of yours? Alphino seems eager to share his theory. Thank you for that, Alphino. Actually, mayhap it would be better if we first adjourned for a more suitable location. In case a rival treasure hunter overhears our plan, you mean? Good thinking! That was not exactly the reason, but 'tis certainly a valid concern. Let us reconvene on the southern edge of Loch Seld. I love it. I love how excited and happy Arenfald is. He's just like, let's go on an adventure. It's basically like playing a little D&D one-shot. It's so cute. I love it. I love this. I love this entire thing. And also, I'm gonna bring it up, but like, I absolutely love how this gets us to the beginning of Arenvald and Alphino's relationship, because they get really close later in the story, and it's super cute, and I love these two dorks. I love them so much. Come on, Alphino, don't leave us in suspense. Let us hear this theory of yours. Yo, LV! I love him too, Aqua. Aqua says I love him. I know! I love him so much. He's such adorable dork. Forgive me. 'Twas not my intention to draw out proceedings. I simply wished to have the lock in sight while I explained things. Prior to the great flood of the Sixth Umbral Calamity, the salt lakes you see before you were yet dry ravines, and this, believe it or not, was the site of the ancient city of Scala, which rose and fell during the Fifth Astral Era. From what we know of this period, the city was already deserted by the time the waters began to rise, having been all but destroyed by war, yet its ruins remain to this day at the bottom of Loch Seld. It is my belief that the darkness beneath the palace mentioned by Theodric's former scribe was not a reference to the prison, but to a place still further below, the ruins of Scala. I further surmise that the Mad King's unfortunate kinsmen were cast down there not simply out of a desire to punish them, but to discourage exploration. Theodric wanted to keep the ruins secure. Wait, you're saying they were meant to guard the Mad King's trove! Precisely. And since we know the court thaumaturge was involved, we can safely assume that any entrance to the old city will have been magically concealed. Which would explain how a legion of Imperial soldiers and the gods know how many Ala Mhigans never found a trace of the trove! We, however, have certain advantages which they do not enjoy. Calosa, would you be so good as to swim down to the bottom of the loch and search for an underwater route into the ruins? While you do that, Arenvald and I will seek out an ensorcelled portal within the palace. See ya! Take care! Yeah, LV! How you doing? And yeah, Aqua, it's always those court wizards, isn't it? It always is. But yeah, you can see, we kind of skipped over it while we were going through into the little cave over here. But like, yeah, if you look down, look, it's a city. There's little ruins down here. I tried specifically to avoid pointing it out because I wanted to show it off now. And kind of hold out just a little bit in case anyone else wanted to log in. I noticed Elvie did. Like, yeah, look at how cool this is. What? Oh, man. I'm a little sad we don't get to see what, we didn't get to see what it was like. And, like, you could see a lot of, like, the lake is retaking everything. But you can kind of see here's a little archway. Yeah, probably led up into a great thing over here. Ooh, look, we've even got stairs. This stuff is really... Aha! Speaking of, I love how they have these little crystals thingies here to show you, like, where to go, because this is pretty big, and you probably wouldn't be able to find it very easily without it. Oh, wait, yeah, here's the statue of Ralgra I was mentioning. Yeah, I was mentioning that the Garleans destroyed it, and they just threw it down here. Ooh, what's this creepy glowy thing over here? I do not know. Ooh. I guess there are still mysteries down here. We'll just never know. But yeah, so there we go. It's Scala. Super cool, super awesome. If you have the time, if you're playing the game for reals and you're actually watching this for some reason, you can go check it out one more time and see it. This is really cool. Alright, let's go. Yeah, at the wait, there was? Oh, I'll have to go check again. You discover a passage that appears to lead under the palace foundations. Press on and find out where it goes. Was there one? Wow, I didn't even look. I didn't even notice. Let's go back. Let's freeze the water too. Haha! Freezing the water. Apparently Aqua spotted a sightseeing location that I did not notice, so let me check. Ah, there it is! Hey! Thank you. Let's see. Let me find a character who is not max level. How about my monk? Where's monk? Monk. Speaking of monks, / lookout. Alright, good. It gives you a little bit of experience, and hey, every little bit counts. Simple counts. Alright, let's go! Thank you, Aqua. See, I was too busy explaining stuff and looking at things. I did not notice it. Thank you for pointing it out. A little housey over that way. But let's go inside. Zoom. Aha! What the? No, I don't want the entrance. I want the stone door. Stupid game. There we go, the stone door. Not yet, game. Not yet. We've already had that happen once. You have come to a worn stone door, standing temptingly ajar. It would appear you have found an entrance into the subterranean ruins. Calosa, it's Alphino. We've searched the prison beneath the palace and found a door concealed by enchantments. Have you aught to report? And you believe it leads into the ruins? Excellent. Also, I wonder how I ever understood you since you were talking underwater. Anyway, I propose we proceed from our respective entry points and look to meet somewhere in the middle. Oh, come now, you two. We might as well make it a race. Victory goes to the first adventurer to find the treasure. God's the speed! I love it. I love him. He's so excitable. He's such a tiny baby boy. I love him. Let's do this. Oh yeah, they do look like little snowflakes. Which makes it even funnier that I was playing with the little bear. They do. I guess it's supposed to be algae. I guess so. I don't even know. Well, it is bioluminescent, and algae can do that, kinda, sometimes. Question mark? Don't ask questions. Where are we going? Stormblood. Drowned city of Scala. Sorry, there's a lot of these. Long ago, in the dawn of the 5th astral era, the modest nation of Scala was founded in the land of Girabania. Over the span of several centuries, its people constructed a grand city of stone at the bottom of a steep-walled ravine, but even this natural defense could not protect Scala from destruction during a terrible age of war. When the great flood of the Sixth Umbral Calamity later swept across the realm, the hollow ruins of the city were lost to sight, its remnants submerged beneath a raging sea. Haunting the depths of what is now Loch Seld, Scala's silent walls lure adventurers into the salt-laden waters with a promise of mysteries unsolved and treasures unclaimed. Oops, sorry. There we go. Temple tap. Here we go. Anime boy is ready. Let's do this, LV. And I saw Aonica is ready to crawl in her skin. These wounds will definitely heal, because I'm doing the healing. Yeah, the polar bear is super cute, right, Seabook? And yes, Drowned City of Scala. I love this place. So cute, so pretty. I don't know if this is supposed to say anything, but I do love the background of this theme is the crystal theme. It gives me the feeling of like sparkling crystals or treasure. And like you can see there's like little crystals and stuff around here. So, I like it. I like it. I like this theme. Local idiot reacts to Scala, Drowning City of Scala's theme. I should make a react channel and then just that. That's it. Flying one at a time, you know, as you do. Oh, yeah. Mwah, chef's kiss. Well, rip this sea swallow and all of her babies. I mean, if the babies didn't just immediately start attacking us, maybe we wouldn't have had to kill them, so... Also, I love this boss. I'll tell you the story when it gets to it. It's kind of hilarious. Here it comes, this thing. Hydro push, okay. So, in mythology, Kelpies are notorious liars, okay? So, when this originally first came out, that attack was a lie. If it said push, he actually pulled you. And if he says pull, he actually pushed you. And no one could figure it out, and they got super pissy, so they actually changed it back. So now he doesn't lie anymore. Which, it was great because, guess what? I was the one who had memorized the fact that he lied. And so I was constantly messing up because it was trying to pull me. And I was just like, oh, it's gonna pull me. And then he did it, and it was like, oh, great, thanks. So there you go, that's my story. Oh, nice. Wait, why did I do that? I don't need it. Oh, actually, you know what? I will. I'll take it. I'll turn it in for seals if I need to. It's fine. It's fine. Also, these guys are named Phobad, and if anyone remembers Homestar Runner and there was a song, the Fahoa Gods, every time I see these Phobads, I just come on Fahoa Bad. I said, come on Fahoa Bad. And unfortunately, I'm sorry, Ionica, but you have to live with me Fahoa Badding all the time. This is my life. This is your life now. This is what you get for being my friend. I don't know who it is, but it probably is Fahoa Bad. I asked my friend Al, I asked my friend Dad. He said it was Fahoa Bad. There you go, there you go. I even, yeah, see, it was pretty. Oh boy, are we gonna go? Are we gonna do the full pull? Hey, Annika, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do the full pull. I believe we can do it. I have come to terms with this a long time ago. See, Ionica knows. Ionica knows. You can't not. You're just doomed. Full poke, full poke, full poke, full poke. Yeah! Full poke, full poke. Yeah! To the edge! This is actually a lot easier to do now, but I did this way back when it was brand new. It was lots of fun and really hard. I did it before Afflatus Solus even existed as part of the... Wait. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Afflatus Solus didn't even exist. So, like, all we had was, like, Tetragrammation as an instant and Benediction. Easy. Yeah, but essentially all you do is the DPS just kill everything, and the white mage just spams Cure 2 over and over and over and over, and hopes that the DPS is good enough to kill everything before you run out of MP. But now it's just easy. The old one. Your face is the old one. Ha! Got him. Sacrifice, worse, subserviates, boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom? If we don't kill these, then they'll detonate and we'll just explode. Oh, thank goodness. You defeated the little babies in time. Thanks, Aeonica is just like, nah, how about I just eat that? I love you, Aeonica. Actually, that's actually what you want to do. Because if you waste your MP if you don't. Activate clunk transformation. Hex, hex, hex! Ah! I'm a Spriggan! Sacrifice were subservience. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, we have to use our Spriggan powers to defeat him. Activate clunk transformation. Hex, 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 hex. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, I think I got him. Oh, pew, 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 pew. Yeah! Gimme, 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 gimme! Grand Company seals. I'll turn them in later. What the? Something was moving across that pit. Oh, oops. Oh well. Not a huge deal. Thank you, Ionica. Sorry. Yeah, we can't cross this pit. What? It's changed us into monsters. This must have been where the thaumaturge did his ghastly transformations. Oh, sorry. Rip. Rip. Sorry, Ionica. I was busy being in character. That was my first mistake. This thing will not let me cast spells. It's just like, how about a zillion AoE? It's just like, no, and it's like too bad. The light, I can see. These monsters! These are the people! Thank goodness we're able to release their souls. This is a mausoleum. You can even see the dead bodies in the walls. Thank you. Nom nom nom. This pull was also fairly hard to do back in the day. Back in the day, back in the day, thin air could last. It wasn't just like one spell. It just lasted for like about 10 seconds. So like at the very beginning, you just used the thin air and just kept spamming tier 2. It's okay. I'll take one. Take one for the team. Oh, okay. No more. I'm finished. Whew. I'm not a happy girl. Plenary indulgence. Oh, this guy really wants us to get shocked a bunch. There we go. Mother, Father, I come to you now. Yodrick, the hell's bad for you! Wait. no, get out of the way. That's the Odric? That creepy, ugly picture? Ugh. Aw, the monk said thank you for the good heals. Aw, that's so sweet. Kill you all! Crodric poison time. Oh, we have to watch his attacks. His tells will say where he's attacking. Oh, that looks like his tail swipe. Oh, jeez. Stay close together. Death! Death comes for you! Oh, ow! Ooh! Ow! Oof. Line attacks. Tail. Ugh. Death comes for you! Oh, jeez. Oh, that was close. Raises his claws. Whoa! Almost there. Got him. At least they're at peace. Nom nom nom. Look at all of this treasure! Everything that he took from his enemies. Yeah, you know what? For someone who's a big, giant, evil bad guy, I'd expect he look like that. He's so emo. Yeah, I know. So many shinies. Yeah, Aqua. What the? Arenvald, Alphino, are you okay?
Are you all right?
Aye. Everything's still attached.
Hey, you two.
Ah, it seems both our paths led here. Very good.
Technically, my path led me directly here. You guys fell down a hole.
We spent altogether too much time fleeing fiends horrid and numerous. How fared you?
Same, except I didn't flee.
Much the same, then. 'Twould appear this place is yet inhabited by King Theodoric's kin, or what is left of them. The work of terrible magics, I fear.
Thanks, Alteron. How nice of you to drop in! Ah!
Terrible, aye. But their misfortune is our fortune?
Actual fortune?
Quite. By the 12, there is even more than I imagined.
Oh, I can't wait to see the look on Lyse's face. Thanks for believing in me, you two.
Oh, thanks for inviting us on this adventure. Guys, this quest was boring. It doesn't count. I completely forgot it existed because it was so bad. Anyway. Our path was dark, treacherous, and fair crawling with abominations. Long story short, it was a proper adventure. Hornvolt and I forged ahead at the fastest pace we could manage, but I was not surprised to find you waiting for us. I suppose it serves us right for challenging the Warrior of Light. Next time, we should agree on some manner of handicap. Yeah, that's true. We may have lost Alphino, but think of what we found! Quite. I'm still reeling at the sight of that mountain of riches. What, like you reeled at the sight of that floating spectre, you mean? You should have heard him scream, Calosa. Oh, must we dwell on such momentary lapses? We found the Mad King's trove, and that's all that matters. Freeze frame, roll credits! First Estinian and now Orenvold. 'Twould seem there is much amusement to be had at my expense. Honestly, I might as well go adventuring with Alice. Why don't you? We could bring her along. We need a second DPS. And the circle is closed from the early middle of Stormblood. Yep. All jesting aside, we must tell people the good news, and I think Lyse should be the first. Seconded, there is a meeting of representatives from across Ala Mhigo, so she is sure to be in the city. Shall we seek her out? Ooh. Sorry, that was Alteron who said that. I know I've been mentioning that I point out who says what, and so, yeah. And the circle, the Alteron was mentioning, there we go. We've gotten back to going around in that circle and finishing up. Lyse! Yo, we have so much gold now! Oh, you three look pleased with yourselves. What have you been up to? Glad you asked, Lyse, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna like the answer. Also, Seabook really liked the boss from the dungeon. He used a laser beam from his eyes. Oh, I'm gone, so cool. Yeah, he was really cool. Yeah. You're joking! The Mad King's trove? I thought it was a myth! So did plenty of people, but they didn't have Calosa and Alphino in their party. The credit for finding it should really go to them. As for what to do with it all, I vote it goes to alleviating the suffering of Ala Mhigo's poor. Gods, if there's as much as you say. Orenvold did not exaggerate, I assure you. We could not hope to carry even a fraction of it out on our own. I have taken the liberty of sketching out a rough map of the ruins. If you will assemble a squad of your most trusted freedom fighters, they should be able to follow the route to where the treasure lies. Understood. I'll make sure every coin is accounted for, and that goes for the spending of it as well. Thank you. Oh, and there is one other thing. When the time comes to draw up a plan for distributing the spoils, I ask that you consult Alphino. I don't have a head for details. I'm not educated. I see that simply handing out sacks of gil won't solve everything, but I couldn't rightly tell you what to do instead. Oh, I know the feeling. I'd welcome any advice you could give us, Alphino. Of course, I shall be at your disposal.
Commander, we've got a problem!
Deep breaths. Tell me what's happened.
A mob's gathered outside headquarters, and they started making demands. You'd best come and see for yourself.
What? Mm-hmm. Here it comes. Aqua knows. Aqua knows this story beat.
Step back, all of you!
Like hells we will! We know who you've got in there!
We're not leaving till you hand her over!
Bring her out! Bring her out!
What's going on?
What's going on?
Thanks, Lyse. Sorry. Listen to her.
Someone let slip about Fedora.
Ah, jeez.
It's true then! The bitch really is in there! I knew it! I bloody knew it!
There was for a while. There was a place on ever since 14 got really popular, there's been a YouTube channel where they take clips of like the people who have like started and doing reactions of the story. And like when this guy said that, when he said the B word, he went ooh, ooh, and like had to take a second to like fan himself out because oh, that's a bad word. It was pretty funny.
We demand vengeance! Bring her out! Today we butcher the butcher!
Oh, jeez!
Butcher the... Come on, you don't mean that! We'd be no better than the Imperials if you'd all just calm down!
Oh, jeez, mob rule never works out.
Calm down! That monster and her thrice damned skulls dragged my man from our home and beat him to death in the street!
Aye, and my dad! That bitch has spilt enough blood to fill a lock!
We all know her crimes. She's a traitor and a murderer. How many of your resistance friends have died at her hands, eh? And here you are, protecting her!
So that's what all the fuss is about.
Raubon!
Hearken to me, brothers and sisters of Ala Mhigo.
What?
Hey, who's this?
That's the Bull of Ala Mhigo.
My friends, you are not alone in your anger, your grief, your despair, for it is mine as well. That gnawing pain in your breast, it is enough to bring an old bull to his knees. But I ask you, brothers and sisters, to think not only of the family and friends who were cut down before your very eyes, but to think also of the ones who were abducted, the ones who may yet live. Where were they taken? What became of them? These questions demand answers. I share your thirst for justice, for vengeance, but we will gain only fleeting satisfaction if we give in to our base appetites. We will never know the truth. Now is the time that we, the people of Ala Mhigo, must decide what manner of nation we will build for ourselves and for generations yet unborn. When they look to our example, will they see a people who held fast to their principles, or one who cast them aside when tried? I say to you, it is our responsibility to give these prisoners a fair trial, that they might answer to all of Ala Mhigo. The Garleans called us savages, and I'll be damned if we prove them right.
Sorry, I wanted to finish this. I don't remember where he said it, but Elvie, pressed. Thanks, Elvie. Yes, I love that speech. Sorry, I couldn't interrupt it. I couldn't. It's too good.
I know you're right. I do. But I can't.
It's okay. Bardola and her skulls may have aspired to be Imperial citizens, but they were born Ala Mhigo. To their countrymen, they are traitors of the worst kind. Thanks for the expedition. Thanks, Alphino, I think we figured it out. Butcher has much to answer for, but to simply drag her from her cell and slaughter her in the street? General Alden is right. Can't do that. We can't just turn into a mob. Thank the gods General Alden arrived when he did. Any later and we would have had a riot on our hands. After 20 years of Imperial rule, 'tis no surprise that people should seek a target for all their pent-up rage and grief. I only wish I knew the solution. Aqua is mentioning, I'm sure people I'm sure people whined about how Lyse couldn't do anything. She is new at this, and she has no experience calming mobs, but Raubon does. Yeah, as we've already established, and Lyse has established before, she's not a speaker. She hasn't done anything like this before. The best she's done is punch things. And then suddenly now she's the leader and she's supposed to be saying all these things to calm people down. That's not her forte. She's got to take some time to grow into her new role. Which, I mean, is like, why was she chosen? I mean, maybe at that point, what they needed at that point was someone who could punch well. And now it's like, well... My thanks, Raubon. Listening to their anger, I could feel myself being swept away. 'Tis a difficult tide to stem. 'Twas the same rage which brought us to our feet and carried us to victory. But now that the war is over, all the unspent fury is being channeled into vengeance. Aye, and it's not just here. We've reports of mobs forming all over. They've been targeting folk known to have cooperated with the Garleans. It starts with insults most often, then someone picks up a stone. Some industrious souls even thought to seek out the graves of Xenos and his officers. It was... grim. I want to build a country where everyone, regardless of race or origin, can live side by side in peace. But maybe the time isn't right. Maybe people just aren't ready. No. But that doesn't mean I'm not gonna try. The representatives will be here soon, and I'll be damned if I'm gonna give up before I've even begun. Who are these representatives exactly? Oh, village elders, refugee leaders, and the like. It wouldn't be right for us to dictate the nation's future on our own, so we planned a summit of sorts. We've even invited the Ananta and the Kikir to participate. You mean the people who are just cannibals? Yeah, that's cool. Whatever. I mean, as long as they don't eat us during the proceedings, I guess. Ala Mhigo stands at a crossroads, and this meeting will decide which path it takes. The matter of Bardola's sentence cannot be suffered to disrupt proceedings. Then let's execute her and be done with it. She herself asked to be put to death. Nago! I already explained why we wouldn't do that. Sending her to the gallows might satisfy people right now, but where would it end? Should we round up everyone who collaborated and everyone who didn't resist? Then there'd be no one left, and we'd be no better than Theodric and Xenos. begging your pardon, but might I be allowed to speak with Fordola? Only I caught a glimpse of her past, a moment of it anyway, during the fight. She's done terrible things, unforgivable things, but in some ways she's a victim of the circumstances in which she was born. And that's something I can understand. Alright, speak with the prison guard when you're ready. I'll come and join you. I want to talk to her too.
I'll return to my duties then. We barely begun to investigate the facility where they gave Fordola her powers. Be fairly warned, friends. She will test you. Don't let your emotions color your judgment when she does.
Aqua is mentioning Papa Limo. Even, yeah, because when there were the three different ones, there was Thancred in Ul'dah, there was Y'shtola in Limsa, and then there was Papa Limo and Ida in Gridania. And Papa Limo was the one who did all the talking. Even back in the day, Ida wasn't a talker. She just never did. She was basically Papa Limo's muscle, and that was it. So yeah, I get what you're saying, Aqua. There's just never been a time for her to learn how to do this, and this is the time she does. Especially when she talked to Nago like that. Like, she can! She's really passionate, but if other people are passionate too, it kind of, as she said, it sweeps her away. If you will have me, I have a mind to attend this interview as well.
I've no great wish to save Fordola, even if I could. But there's more to her than meets the eye, I'm sure of it.
I think it's best if I stay outside and keep watch for troublemakers. After what that woman did to Mefred and Commander Kemp, I'd struggle not to throttle her. Speak with the guard, and we'll all go in together. This next scene... Yeah, she just needs training. And Aqua's right, this next scene is so good.
Give the commander's permission to enter, then.
I do. Let's go. Best scene of the entire expansion, in my opinion. Yeah, Alteron. Definitely, even if you don't agree, definitely in the running.
Well, well, well. So many visitors. Come to have a good laugh, have you? Or do you mean to put me out of my misery? To finish what you started? It's about bloody time.
That's not why we're here, no. Do you remember what I said? How I promised you you'd live long enough to see us win our freedom? Well, I meant it. And not to mock you either.
You're wasting your time. All of this is pointless! There's no reason to keep me alive, and you know it! I killed your men. I killed my men. And you know what my only regret is? That I didn't kill you when I had the chance!
That's a lie, and you know it. You think we can't tell what you're trying to do? That we're blind? Yeah, you're a fool, but you're not stupid. You're ruthless. Relentless. You'd give up anything and everything to get what you want. You didn't come this far, climbing over the bodies of your own brothers and sisters just to piss it all away. I see you, Fordola. I see you for what you are.
What? I can't... Hardly an occupation. Babby Fordola.
Come along, Fordola. We mustn't be late. The Imperial Viceroy will be attending today's banquet.
That would be... It's probably Gaius at this point. Coming!
Right.
Oh, alright, coming! Oh, baby!
Father, what's Lord Gaius like? Is he nice? Are you friends?
Jeez, change your hairstyle once in a while. Yeah, exactly. Fordola, come on. Whoa.
There you go again with all your questions. Lord Gaius is a great and honourable man who looks after all of Ala Mhigo. He's very busy, and if we don't hurry, we'll miss our chance to see him.
Filthy tin-head lovers.
Father, what did that man call us?
The little tin-head lover doesn't know what she is, eh? A traitor, sweetheart. A backstabbing bitch who'd gladly betray her kith and kin to gnaw on what few scraps the Imperials deign to toss her. Like your bastard father and whore mother.
That's not true! My parents are good people! They've never done anything like that!
Oh, but they were quick to help themselves and their bitch spawn, weren't they? You're just as guilty as them.
Got into a busy market.
Fordola!
Stone.
Traitors!
Please, you have to do something. My husband and daughter are in danger.
Soldiers of the Imperial Army are under no obligation to intervene in the disputes of arms.
On, of course, being the class of people that aren't actually Garlean.
We're citizens. We have rights.
Savages. That's what you are.
Ah!
I'm scared.
It's all right. It's all right. They don't understand, but they'll see in time. They'll see that this is the only way to survive. Traitors! Traitors!
Let the savages have their fun. They'll be more compliant once they've tired themselves out.
Yeah. Yeah, Aqua, I know. This is super terrible.
Fordola, please. You already have citizenship. Why would you want to become a soldier? Oh, gods. What have you done to your face?
She got the same tattoo as her father.
Forgotten it already, have you? I'm honoring Father's memory.
By telling the world that you know better than a common savage.
Am I though, Mother? Are any of us? Can't you see? Citizenship means nothing to them. If you're not a pure-blood Garlean, you're no different from any other savage. So I'll play the part. I'll join the Legion and I'll make them respect me. And when the mob see that, they'll think twice before throwing their stones. Ansfrid, Rudolph, Emlyn. It's time.
These guys actually do pop up in a side story that is talked about a little bit.
It'll be hard. Humiliating. They'll try to break us. Send us crawling back to our own kind. But we won't, no matter what. We'll bleed for them, die for them if we have to. We'll do whatever it takes to be free!
And then she kills them. Do whatever it takes to be free. And her mother cries, knowing that her daughter is going off to die.
So, you mean to play the part one last time, eh? The unrepentant traitor whose death will serve to unite the people?
Shut up.
You had every chance to kill yourself. Fashion a noose from your clothes. Wait for the guards to leave you alone long enough to slip it over your neck.
I said shut up!
Oh, but then it would have all been for nothing, wouldn't it? Whatever it takes. That's what you said.
Been in my head, have you? Had a little peek at my past?
Guess what? You know as well as I do that you can't control it, so sorry!
And what? A few stolen memories tell you everything you need to know, do they? Don't you dare patronize me! You don't know a god's damned thing about the life I've led! The bastards that killed him. The bastards that let it happen. My father deserved better! I swore I'd do whatever it took to make them pay!
Oh. Merciful. Knows. Well, now we're even.
You. All that power. All that pain. It's too much. Too much for anyone.
Yeah, I know. Sucks.
The things they've done to you. The lies. The betrayal. The endless fighting. Yet there you stand. Unbroken. How? Why?
You know why. You saw. For those I have lost, for those I can yet save. Minfilia.
Damn you. Damn you all.
You still have time, Fordola. Think about how you want to spend it.
Yeah, Elvie, this was... see, the whole part about Fordola's past was one thing, but the fact that we get to see someone else get the echo and see how it affects them, and then begin to, you don't understand how my life is, and then go, wait a minute, what? You mean yours was just as bad, if not worse? What?
Let's go.
It's so good. This whole thing, all together, are involved. He sees himself in her. We haven't seen his past. But he said he had to kill to survive too. So good. So good. Sorry about that. I let my emotions get the better of me. It's just that she and I are of an age, and we're neither of us one thing or another. I can't help but feel like she's my problem to solve. No, Arnvald, don't be like that. The capacity to experience such visions of the past has always seemed to me to be a most desirable talent, but I see now it is much a burden as it is a blessing. I don't know that we solved anything exactly, but we've given Fordola something to think about at least. Aye, and I found something new to think about too. And I don't know about you, Calosa, but the visions only come to me every now and then. From the way Fordola kept wincing, though, I get the feeling she's having them almost all the time. It's a lot of bad memories to deal with. I wonder, could there be some fundamental difference between one who is born with the echo and those who have been artificially imbued with it? Well, the immortal flames have been scouring that research facility ever since the liberation. There's a chance they may have some answers for us. General Alden's there overseeing the investigation. Let's go pay him a visit, shall we? Oh, it's on the other side. Let's just take a little light. Oh, there we go. I was trying to go that way. Burn, baby, burn! Disco Inferno! Burn, baby, burn! Okay, I'm done. General Alden is inside. Aye. Will you be joining him? Yes. That was mean. I'm sorry. People running around in here. Talking to each other. This guy carrying a box. A flame investigator. So many bodies. Oh, jeez. These were all of the failures of the experiment. Elizin, Rogadin, Lalafell. Ugh. They should burn this place to the ground and be done with it. Jeez, there's even more behind there in the back. And more on this side, too. Seeing this facility, I am reminded of what they did to Cryo. Oh hey, it's an ironworks engineer. We've received a request from the Alliance to analyze the devices, and I've been recording everything of interest. Good, thank you. This was where they imbued him. Both Fordola and Xenos. Come on, let's talk to Raubald. What news? You spoke with Fordola, I take it? Yes, as expected, she didn't say very much, but it wasn't a total waste of time. Arnvald noticed something odd about her. He thinks she might have been having visions almost constantly, which is not how the Echo normally works. Have you found anything here which might explain why it's so different for her?
We've been hard-pressed to organize the research materials, let alone study them. To be frank, I'd welcome the scions as expert assistants if you have time to lend a hand.
So many bodies, each one of them a victim of these experiments. Few show any signs of external injury. From what we've been able to determine, they perished from forcible ether extraction. Such a miserable way to die.
They basically just ripped out their souls.
Pod. The device in which Kryl was held seems even more ominous now that you know its purpose. The surrounding pods are marked supply subject, while this one bears the label master subject. The Ironworks received a request from the Alliance to analyze these devices, and I've been recording anything of interest. Did you notice the labeling? All the pods are designed to drain ether of the occupant. Save that one right there. Unlike the others, the interior has been fitted with an array of sensors to measure etheric waveforms. To what purpose, however, I couldn't tell you. To create the exact wave of a person with the echo. All of their souls were ripped out and shoved into that pod in order to create the same echo frequency and deliver it to the recipient.
I know little and less of science, so any light you could shed on this facility's operations would be much appreciated. Calosa, shall we start with you?
So then I found this thing, and then the pod said, burp, 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 and then all the people got their ether sucked out, and then... Taken in combination with the testimonies of Kryl and Thancred, I do begin to see exactly what the Imperials were attempting here. The enhancement procedure entailed infusing a single candidate with ether siphoned from a multitude of supply subjects. As for the master subject, in this case Kryl, the patterns of her etheric activity would provide the model upon which they could artificially engineer the candidate's aura. In other words, they were trying to recreate Kryl's echo? I believe so, which would explain our prisoner's present state. Kryl is possessed of an unrivaled ability to hear the whispers of the soul, and it seems probable that the procedure engendered the same acute sensitivity in Fordola. The soldiers who guard Fordola, many of them lost friends and family to the skulls. And there's a sentry at her door night and day. If she can't help sensing their thoughts and seeing their past... She is constantly seeing all of the pain and horror she's inflicted on people over and over and over. But you don't just see their past, you live it! All the emotions, all the pain. Imagine what it'd do to you. You'd never be the same again. Indeed. As you may recall, Ysayle was completely transformed by a single glimpse of Hraesvelger's past. Fordola has been forced to experience the agony of those whose lives she destroyed. The guilt must be unbearable. That explains her request to be executed.
Sounds to me like a kind of justice. Regardless, she can suffer on for now. We have more pressing matters to consider. If the results of these experiments have been relayed back to Garlemald, there will be naught to stop the Empire from repeating the trick. They could give the echo to anyone, to an entire legion. We must be ready. We must learn all we can of these gods' forsaken procedures, and Fordola remains our best source of information. She'll not be getting her wish. Not yet.
Right.
Keep faith, lass. If you're to convince others to follow you, you must believe what you're telling them. People will respond to passion, but not if it's feigned.
I understand. Thank you, General. We should leave the flames to it. Let's go.
never known why I was given the Echo, but this makes me want to put it to good use. The forcible extraction of ether from a living subject is invariably fatal. How many died that Fordola might gain her new abilities? And then times that by 2 for Xenos. But the guilt that Fordola must feel for her specifically. I go looking for answers about the Echo, and I end up getting schooled by Raubon. Yet more evidence that I don't know what I'm doing. It's no wonder people listen to him and not to me. General Alden is a veteran of countless campaigns, Lyse. You cannot compare yourself to a commander of his experience. I know, but I also know that I couldn't have convinced that mob to give up and go home. It makes me realize how much we rely on his authority, and how much I still have to learn. I wonder what he'll do when everything here is settled. I mean, it's his homeland. After going to the trouble of winning it back, might he not want to stay? 'Tis a quandary with countless refugees now face, to continue the life they built in Uldar or start again in the land of their birth. Lyse? Calosa, a moment! Pippin! I am newly returned from Uldar with a message from the Sultana. Her Grace desires an audience with you. She understands that you have responsibilities here, but asks that you visit the palace at your earliest convenience. Sure, sounds good. Well, I must away and attend to other business. Until next time, my friends. Take care, Pippin! An audience with Sultana? Depending on the nature of her consultation, this might be the perfect opportunity to inquire about the General's future plans. What? Yes, we'd all like to know about those, Alphino, but not everyone's as comfortable interrogating royalty as you. Take no notice of him, Calosa. Sure. Aqua saying, "Oh, you'll learn everything in due time, Lyse. I'm sure in a few years you'll be much better at handling all of this. I'm sure, yeah. In case you're wondering, I'm not planning on staying at Ala Mhigo. Too many bad memories. Besides, I like my new life." Oh. I know I could learn so much from Raubon if he decided to stay, but it's his choice, and I'm not about to persuade him. Uldar needs him too. Sultana's strings. Well, the question of how to put the Mad King's treasures to good use shows no signs of answering itself. Shall we be about it, Arenvald? I'm at your beck and call. And I should be getting back to my own tasks. I'll organize a squad to head down into the ruins, and then we'll start preparing for the big meeting. Oh, and send Anonimo my regards, Calosa. And ours too, if you please. I shall see you on your return. See ya! Off to Uldar. It's been a while. Yeah, people keep. I remember they've stopped saying it so much, but like back when that new thing first came out, a lot of people were like, "It's so bad. I changed it back." But like, it is so much better. It's just instant. Click, click. You're already there. So fast. So good. My lady, it was an honor to face you in the tournament. Since that day, I've spent every spare moment of the practice yard striving to attain some fraction of your skill with the blade. Forgive me. You're here for your audience with the Sultana. Please, proceed.
I thank you for answering my summons in these most interesting times. You have been busy.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah.
The liberation of Ala Mhigo will have far-reaching consequences, and there is a matter upon which I would seek your counsel. I speak of Rauban and his future.
Oh yeah, this is the original 1.0 Thanalan theme, so nice. Thanks, Uematsu. Chef kiss.
All know the tale of his rise from penniless refugee to member of the Syndicate and General of the Immortal Flames. Yet though he has come to call Uldar home, it will never be his homeland. He is a son of Ala Mhigo. And now that she is free, I thought it only a matter of time before he sought my leave to return to her. Indeed, I had resigned myself to his loss. Suffice it to say, I was greatly surprised to hear him speak so lightly of handing over the reins in Ala Mhigo and retaking his place at my side.
What?
I will welcome him with open arms, of course. He is my most trusted advisor and my dearest friend. But I have known the man a long time, and beneath that steely gaze, I spied a flicker of doubt. Whether Rauban chooses to remain in Uldar or return to Ala Mhigo, I only wish that he do so with a heart unburdened by guilt or regret. Yet, how can he freely make such a choice, knowing how much I depend on him? It is past time that I learned to discharge my duties as a sultana alone. I must go forth and see my realm with my own eyes, and hear the wind with my own ears.
What?
Might I have your company for a brief adventure?
More adventures? Sure.
Wonderful. Allow me a moment to change into something a touch less conspicuous, and I will join you outside.
Another adventure? Man, Calosa gets all the adventures today. Oh, got him. Staff of Life. Oh yeah, beautiful. What's up, Nanamo? Perchance you remember Lilira, the merchant's daughter? This is the persona I assume when I venture beyond the palace walls to observe my subjects unnoticed. Ordinarily, Papashan would accompany me, but for this particular outing I need an advisor, not a minder. And that is why I requested your company. Over the course of your many adventures, you have met people from all walks of life, in every corner of Eorzea, and I would make use of your worldly experience. Now, let us be on our way. Our first destination is Stone's Throw, just beyond the Grate of Nald. The Uldan refugees. Look upon this procession of tattered tents. These refugees camp in squalor, at the mercy of the elements and Thanalan's predators both. The city's mighty walls offer safety, but the streets overflow with people as it is, and unless blessed by the hand of Nald himself, no refugee could ever hope to afford a dwelling in Uldar. 20 years have passed since the fall of Ala Mhigo, and 5 since the calamity, yet the plight of the poor has grown more desperate, not less. As Sultana, the blame falls upon me. You've done your best, Your Grace. Then my best has not been good enough. Shall we press on? I would follow the road to the unholy air. It was here, in this wholly unremarkable place, that my mother and father met their doom. I was but a child at the time. My parents were returning from an inspection of our interests in eastern Thanalan when an untimely rockslide crushed their carriage. To this day, it is not certain if the incident was simple misfortune or an expertly planned assassination. And to this day, even in like side quests and side stories and things, we still don't know. Like 100%. That's just, who knows? That's just what happened. Raubon once offered to reopen the investigation and bring me the truth he assumed I'd most surely crave. But I refused. Even if my parents' deaths were orchestrated by the Monitarists, we could only have brought their hirelings to justice. The true villains, those who plotted to put me on the throne as a biddable puppet, were ever beyond our reach. Thus did I plan to strip the merchants of their power and place our nation in the hands of its citizens, quite unaware of the consequences my actions would have for you and yours. I shudder to think how many goodly souls paid the price of my naivete. But I am no longer a child reciting words to witless obedience, and I will not be used as a pawn in the Monitarists' damnable games. Forgive me my outburst. You are one of the few people to whom I feel I can speak my mind. Come, let us return to Ul'dah and visit the Colosseum. Oh, I'm here. Let's get a new minion. It's been a while. Oh, hey, it's Gilly. Yeah, it's been a while, Gilly. Let's go. Oh no, that guy's being eaten by a toad! Calosa, do something! Be a hero! No, I don't think I will. He got away. He's fine. She's 14, 16 around the time of 1.0, so she's like 18, 20 at this point. Because of 5 years. Oh, there we go. So yeah, she was just a tiny babby who didn't know anything and got herself punched in the face repeatedly. But now she's an adult and she's ready to punch all the bad guys. Oh, are we gonna get the cutscene? I think this is where we get the cutscene. I hope we do. From the moment I became Sultana, I found myself thrust into an endless parade of document signing and ceremonies. For years, I simply signed where I was told to sign and sat where I was told to sit, blissfully oblivious to what any of it meant. Yet one good thing did come from that ignominious chapter in my life, for it was during an official visit to the Colosseum that I first met Raubon. The match I had been invited to attend was not at all what I expected. They had pitted the bull of Ala Mhigo against some dozen or so rival gladiators. Blinkered though I was, I could not stand for so obvious an injustice, and I demanded to see a fair fight, one man against another, and my royal wish was duly granted. It was not until later that I learned of the gambling ring which had arranged for Raubon to die on the sands that day. Regardless, my intervention meant that Raubon had but a single opponent to dispatch, which he duly did. And then he knelt before me to receive the winner's purse, and he swore that he would one day offer me his blade in service. Surrounded as I was by liars and manipulators, I confess that I dismissed it as a pleasant piece of theater. But as you know, Raubon is a man of his word. Though it took him another 5 years of fighting on the Blood Sands, he amassed a fortune so great as to buy not only his freedom, but a seat on the Syndicate. And so if that was 5 years of Raubon, then she knew him when she was like 10 years old. So she was literally a child when like, you know, when they first met. Like, yeah, 9, 10 years old. And then I had my blade. Yes, cutscene! I love this little cutscene. Yeah! Whoa! Echoed!
Your Grace, you mustn't! The danger is too great! Please, Your Grace, come back! I beg of you!
It seems you're the one who needs looking after, Master Shum. Rabon!
Your Grace. I have kept the promise made.
So you have, and in turn, so too shall I keep mine. With your winnings, you have become one of the 6 most wealthy souls in all Uldar, and so, as tradition dictates, Rauben Aldin, you have earned yourself a seat on the Syndicate. May your new station garner you still greater glories.
I am honored, Your Grace, and vow to serve with every fiber of my being from this day till my last.
Yay!
Long live the Sultana, and long live Uldar!
Yeah, so there we go. I'm pretty sure that, yeah, they just reused a 1.0 cutscene. Yeah, because of how everything, like, seemed to be done with, what do you call it? I always forget the term! The recording people's movements thingy. But yeah, also Marcia Shop, Princess! Yes, that's basically him.
Words cannot well express what that man means to me. There are others who care deeply for my well-being, of course. Papa Shan's love for me is that of a grandsire for his grandchild. But upon matters of governance, I cannot turn to bodyguards and maidservants for counsel. Raubon, with the authority of his syndicate position, was the first sword I could wield. His was the only edge which could cut the strings that bound me.
Motion capture, yeah. So yeah, that was pretty obvious. That was like really heavily motion capture, and I think that they only really started that at like towards like Shadowbringers postgame, like really heavily, like that much. So it was probably just a recut of the 1.0 of a 1.0 cutscene. Thank you, motion capture. I always forget it. This is what happens when I live in Japan for too long. I start losing words that you don't use like in general. So
We must make haste. My absence will not go unnoticed by the Sultan Sworn for long, and there are places I would visit. To the Arzaneth Ossuary.
Is that the Thaumaturge's one? Yeah, it's the Thaumaturge one. Oh hey, it was the guy who was getting attacked by a toad, I think. He's safe, see? Didn't need to worry. Temple tap. Yeah, I did remember Alteron, that's why I'm the best.
When the calamity threatened, Raubon led the Alliance forces into battle on the plains of Cartano.
And I remained here. Oh yeah, this is the... They referenced this in an actual, like, in a side story. One of the first side stories written was for this story.
I prayed with all my heart that Archon Louis Soir would have the power to rouse the 12. Since that day, I have made a custom of visiting this shrine during each of my little excursions. Here I seek the blessing of Thal, reflect upon my choices, and ask myself if I am fulfilling my duties as Sultana. You are rightly celebrated as a champion because you have led the line in 100 battles for the good of Eorzea. In much the same way, I believe the measure of a monarch lies in how she leads her people in times of adversity. If I am to be a Sultana worthy of the name, I cannot turn a blind eye to the troubles facing Uldar. I have chosen my path, Calosa. With Ala Mhigo now freed from Imperial chains, I finally see a way to aid the refugees. Yeah! Already, many displaced Ala Mhigans seek to begin the long trek home. And as you well know, our artisans of school shall be waiting to accept any who wish to learn new trades. Realistically, however, it will take years for such training to yield tangible benefits. But we do not have years. These people need shelter and employment if they are to survive, and this time, the Ul'dah's treasury shall provide. Precisely where and how to allocate the necessary funds is, of course, another question. Why not seek the advice of one who employs refugees? A wise suggestion. Mayhap a visit to the Gold Saucer is in order. Its proprietor is a member of the Syndicate, and he is one of the few who pay refugees a fair wage. I wonder, are you acquainted with Godbert Manderville? Yes? Then I need not explain his eccentric nature. Let us make our way to the landing, and I will see that word is sent to the Gold Saucer. Godbert should be only too glad to receive us. The second best, what was it? Nanamo's story is the second best story from the Fall of Dalamud. The best is Kane-Senna's, 100%. It's definitely the best one. They didn't go too much into it, but that story was that, during the, like, when Dalamud was beginning to fall, people were just scared crapless and ran out into the streets to riot because everything was going to hell in a handbasket, and they immediately began looting and like tearing down structures, looting, grabbing everything and running. And so Nanamo, who was praying in there, went out into the street, and a bunch of people, a bunch of the Sultan Sworn, like Papa Shan and things, all ran out to like be her bodyguards. And she like did an impassioned speech telling everyone, please don't be angry and start hurting each other, because there's much more important things to be focusing on, and we need to work together, essentially. It was a really good story. It's really good. And it was such a good story that they reused it again for the 2020 Rising story. For the anniversary of Final Fantasy XIV. And for 2020, the Rise, wait, or was it, no, it was 2019, not 2020. 2019's Rising. We already saw 20. Wait. No, it was. What? Yes. 2020. It was what? 2019. It was 2019. Shoo! Oh, thank God. Anyway, 2019's one happened. And it was very, very suspicious that the one thing that the story's moral was don't riot and loot and kill people. And it just so happened to come on the year that there was a bunch of riots in the summer of 2019 in America. And I, like, the whole time I was like, what was this an accident? What? I was very confused. I don't know, but anyway, I just thought it was really suspect that, like, there were a bunch of riots, and then suddenly, like, 2 months later, they had a story where we shouldn't be rioting and should work together, and I was just like, gotta bite my knuckle. Alteron got a thing. Yeah, The Rising. It's this one here. Yeah, there it is. Sultana's a 7 picture was given. So this was the 2021? Yeah, okay, 2020. But yeah, either way, it was kind of hilarious. Anyway, I've ridden aboard a public airship before, but this shall be my first visit to the Gold Saucer. I must confess to some excitement. Where are we going again?
going to the gold saucer. Okay, I guess I can just spend some money. There we go. All right, and if it's in Ul'dah, then it's for free. I forgot. If it's from Gridania or Limsa, it costs a little bit of money to make sure that you don't just use it as a free pass. Yeah, that picture is really pretty. You're right, Aqua.
I had heard descriptions of its splendor, yet I never dreamed it would be so bright and inviting.
Whoa, Nanamo. No, I couldn't possibly. We did not come here to fritter away the royal coin. Lady Nanamo, I don't want to be like, you know, patronizing or anything, but I got like a couple of 100,000 coins. You can just take a few and go play for a bit. We don't got forever, but Godbert will be expecting us. Come, let us head directly to the lounge and ignore these gaudy temptations. All right, sounds fine. That's up to you. Oh man, there's cliffhanger though. I could be doing cliffhanger. We'll do it later. But what? It'll be over once I'm done talking with Godbert. Oh, the things I do! The things I do for my friends! It was the same image that accompanied Nanamo's side story. Oh, okay, so it was the same one. Also, I just walked right past it because I was trying to look at other things. Oh, also... Here's the picture of Godbert. I don't know if I talked to this guy before, but I'll do it again. Sometimes I think the owner stationed me here just so I'd be forced to ever gaze upon the Battle of the Bulge being waged beneath that shimmering statue's small clothes. Beautiful. Beautiful. Animal! Let's do it.
I believe this is where we are to meet Lord Manderville. Shall we sit while we await his coming?
I was gonna say, is this one voiced? But I'm pretty sure it's not because I don't think Godbert even has a voice because of all the times, yeah.
My apologies, Your Grace. I have kept you waiting.
No apologies are necessary, Godbert. My request was sudden, and you were kind to make yourself available at such short notice.
Godbert wearing long pants? An ultra rare sight. This is true. Everyone, come look. It's incredible.
When my son's good friend and the Sultana herself come calling, there is no more important engagement.
Oh, I love that he knows that we're friends with Hildebrand. That's so sweet.
As to the purpose of my visit, I would have your thoughts on how the Crown might best aid the refugees residing in Thanalan. You are aware, I am sure, that many of Ala Mhigo's displaced sons and daughters long to return to their newly liberated homeland, and you are also aware of how they will suffer without shelter and work to sustain them. I would use our nation's wealth to spare them that suffering. What advice have you for me on the matter of how it might best be distributed?
The unusual circumstances of our meeting and Your Grace's choice of companion would suggest to me a desire for an honest and unvarnished opinion. I shall give you one. My advice to you is stop. Taxing Ul'dah's wealth to save Ala Mhigan refugees is a terrible, terrible idea.
You oppose my proposition?
Most emphatically, I agree with Your Grace that the refugees must have housing and employment, but what profit is there for Ul'dah in this arrangement?
Profit? After all you've done for Girabania's displaced, I thought you the last person to seek benefit from their misfortune.
Forgive me, Your Grace, but you appear to be laboring under a misapprehension. It is a fine endeavor to support one's fellow man. I fear, however, that your stance is one born of pity. Your intent is to save the refugees, is it not?
Huh? Well,
For all our potential, we are indolent creatures by nature. If unconditional charity is all we know, then we begin to rely upon it and to expect it. And then we must consider Ul'dah's own poor and downtrodden. Should they hear of you spending the nation's coin, not to improve their lot, but to nurture the distant citizens of Ala Mhigo, it is unlikely they will applaud your generosity. Surely it is not your grace's intention to foster new resentments, but to spread goodwill.
Yes. Indeed. Then any support I pledge to the refugees must promote self-sufficiency, while also serving the interests of the people of Ul'dah.
Exactly so! Such an arrangement will create a far more equitable relationship with the returning Ala Mhigans, even as it generates the revenue required to win the approval of your subjects.
So, I can't believe Godbert said socialism sucks, because, You have given me much to ponder, Lord Mandeville, and I thank you for your candor.
Sorry, Japan is still very, very capitalistic. You'd be surprised how much so.
Profit. The thought never even crossed my mind. But standing here lamenting my naivete will not do anyone any good. I shall consider my lesson learned and press on. Calosa, are you perchance acquainted with any successful merchants? If my attempt at philanthropy is obligated to reap a profit, it would seem wise to consult someone with a knack for business. Well, I think I know someone. Ordinarily, I would not trust any agent of the East Algernon Trading Company, but if you hold this Hancock fellow in high esteem, I'm content to be led by you. You may repay my faith by journeying to distant Kugane and speaking with him on my behalf. Eager though I am to visit those shores, I have not the leisure for a lengthy sea voyage. Now, assuming you will travel as adventurers are wont to do, I shall await your report by the Aetheryte in Ul'dah. A fair journey to you, Calosa, and a swift one, if you please.
Shido got it. Oh, there we go. By the way, did I? Let me check. Whoops, no. I have not shown it off. I should do that. Oh, I'll do it later. Oh, by the way, everyone, I don't know if it's gonna happen this time, but it might happen next time. We are 5 views away from 1,000. Not bad. Just saying. I think I announced, what was it, the 600 milestone, like way back when. But nice, yeah, we're getting there. Greetings, honored madam. Yes, let's go. Calosa, to what do I owe the pleasure? Or are you here on business?
Business, actually.
I beg your pardon. Her Grace the Sultana would have my opinion on how to best invest the wealth of Ul'dah. My dear Calosa, I have you to thank for this. Recognition, I am sure. And I am flattered that you came to me, truly flattered. But why settle for a lowly apprentice when you could have the master? Upon matters of profit, there is no living soul better qualified to advise Her Grace than Chairman Lolorito, a man whose morning exertions are said to fill his garden robe with gold. I shall be happy to arrange a meeting for you, say at the Scion's former headquarters in Thanalan. The Waking Sands would be a suitable, neutral venue for negotiations, don't you think? Fare you well, Calosa, and may your dealings prove fruitful. Ah, jeez. Now I gotta go to Ul'dah. Actually, I wonder if this will work. Shoot. I'm saving money here, okay? Quiet.
Nice. Hey! Welcome to the goblet. We're not staying here. Goodbye. Goodbye, goblet. Actually, that was it. Choco Poker. This was a Valentine's Day thing, and it's the best. So here it is. It's a little, one of those little leafy plant things. When it flies, it gets hearts around it. So, it's the best. It's kind of the best thing ever. Let's see, what do I not like? I honestly don't like the exhilaration system. I'm sorry for, like, the 3 people who like it. It's not my favorite. Oh, wait, it is one of my favorites. What? When did it become my favorite? There it is. Okay, well, you already know it. Hey, never mind then. I just wanted to make sure that everyone knew that I had it. But either way, I don't like the exhilaration, so it's not my favorite anymore. Ah, got him. Get out. Alright. Back to Ulta. Whoop. Oh, what the? What? Oh, she's... I thought she would be in here, but no, she's outside. Anima, we're gonna talk with Lolorito. And that cutscene is voiced, if I recall. Welcome back, Calosa. Did your merchant friend have any useful advice to share? He said that we should talk to Lolorito. With Lolorito? And you agreed to this? I am well aware of his standing in the fields of business, but I had hoped to keep the monetarists at arm's length, and him in particular. Nay, I cannot live in fear of the man. I must learn how to treat with him if I am to rule Ul'dah effectively. Very well! I will meet with Lolorito. Let us go ahead to the Waking Sands and prepare for his coming. Off we go. You know what? Oh, wow. Never mind. I was like, I thought we were going to have to walk. But no, thanks for teleporting us, game. Nice. So this is where the Scions first congregated. I have heard many tales, but I had never the occasion to visit. To work, then. The hour of the meeting draws near, and I would gather my thoughts. Pray see to it that we have the appointed room to ourselves. Hey, all ya jerks, get out of here! What the? There he is.
A personal summons from the Scions. This must be important business indeed. Though, if it concerns anything so underhand as an assassination, I fear I can be of little help.
Yeah, no. Also, Lolorito, when you said, from the Scions, I was like, what are you? Freaking, like Joker? What? The Joker, not Persona 5 Joker. I meant the Joker, like Mark Hamill's Joker. Anyway. Come sit. The masks.
You have made your point. It is indeed unsettling to find oneself seated across from an impassive mask. There, would this better please your grace? Or should I address you as Lady Lilira?
Nay, the deception has served its purpose. I am glad to see you found amusement in my little jest, Lord Lolorito, but shall we proceed to the business at hand?
By all means. I must say I am most eager to hear your proposal.
Simply put, I would aid the refugees camped in Thanalan in their efforts to return to Ala Mhigo.
Alteron bringing up a valid point. Lolorito's A Realm Reborn voice actor was one of the rare few that was actually better than the new one. Yeah, I don't, yeah.
The reparations you paid in the wake of your earlier misdemeanors will be used to fund the endeavor, together with the fortune seized from the late Teleji Adeleji's estate. But this plan is not intended to benefit the displaced alone. I would make of this an investment which shall enrich Uldar and Ala Mhigo both. And who better to consult on matters of profit than the wealthiest man in all of Thanalan? I beseech you then, Lord Lolorito, share with us your mercantile wisdom.
Ah, 'twould seem your grace has matured beyond acts of earnest yet misplaced charity. Pray tell me more. To summarize, in return for facilitating the repatriation of refugees and assisting in the establishment of new industry in Ala Mhigo, you ask that a proportion of all subsequent profits be promised to Uldar. Huh, I am impressed, Your Grace. 'Tis an elegant solution, albeit one lacking certain crucial details, specifically which industry and where.
How swiftly you identified the weakness in my plan, just as I knew you would. Your travels have taken you across the length and breadth of Gir Abania, and you know the land far better than I. Which of the settlements you visited would best provide a home for our refugees? Which has the greatest potential to flourish, given the appropriate investment?
Hey, kids playing at home. Do you know which one it is? It's the Saltery.
Ah, yes, that desolate little village on the shore of Loch Seld.
Alagana was a trade city, which if no one's coming to like trade anything, then it doesn't matter how much money you put into it. Alagiri was a stonemason's city, which the only thing that really anyone wanted from there was Ala Mhigo itself, so that's not going to be very good for moving. But the Saltery got the absolute best spice ever. Well, I guess it's not a spice, but whatever. Condiments.
I know the Saltery and its products well. The Imperial invasion brought an end to their more widespread distribution, much to the dismay of many a wealthy gourmand, myself included.
Yeah. So there you go. Best condiment. Salt is the salt of the earth. Best stuff. Use the best. That's it. Salt is good.
Salt has ever been a transformative ingredient. And in this instance, I dare say, it could transform a modicum of effort into a mountain of gil.
The local citizens will need to be consulted, of course, but I trust the East Aldenard Trading Company can be relied upon to provide its assistance in negotiating a mutually beneficial arrangement.
If you do any of the other choices, then you get, you really want me to say the Saltery, huh? Thanks, Aqua. Thanks for telling us what happens when you play the wrong one.
Naturally, Your Grace. I shall dispatch representatives well versed in the extraction of this white gold and wring every last ounce of profit from its production. The Loch's bounty will contribute to Ala Mhigo's enrichment, whilst easing the burden on the bull's aching shoulders. Just as Your Grace desired.
And with all of that, because the lock, you have to go through the peaks to get to it. Which means that, what was it? Not Alagiri, but Alaganan. It's a trade route. It'll instantly get all of the money that it needed from the beginning. It'll be great. Everything will start getting better.
A deal is struck then.
I fear it will be many years before I feel comfortable taking part in such negotiations. But I shall not complain. We have piqued Lolorito's interest and secured his invaluable expertise. Thank you, Calosa. I couldn't have done it without you. Animo is ready to move ahead with your plans. Our course is decided. I shall return to the palace and have my ministers begin work on implementing the particulars of the plan. If I could prevail upon you one last time, Calosa, I would ask that you convey the details of our negotiations to Commander Hext on your return to Ala Mhigo. My thanks again. Together we have laid the groundwork for an endeavor which promises to benefit the peoples of Ala Mhigo and Ul'dah both. Back to the Ala Mhigo quarter. Dun dun, that's not the Ala Mhigo quarter. This is the Ala Mhigo quarter. Oh, this was the one I wanted to show off. We were at the gold saucer, so I might as well show it off. This is the single most expensive thing in all of the gold saucer. It's pretty great. Yeah. It even has a little fat cat balloon. Well, two fat cat balloons because it's the other sides. Yeah, you can even see those are the little parts that are, yeah, it's pretty great. Anyway, yeah. Where was she? There she is. In your absence, I have kept myself busy cataloging the riches of the Mad King's trove and calculating its worth and gil. I have some ways to go, but the figure is already quite staggering.
Greetings, Calosa. I'm actually in the middle of reporting to the commander here, so...
Hey, Whiskar.
Welcome back, Calosa. How was your audience with the Sultana?
I do like how, in contrast to the real world, the white salt of Ala Mhigo is seen as more valuable than the pink rock salt of Thanalan. Because everyone's living in that desert while no one lives out here. They're the only, salt flats, the only salt lake is in, out in nowhere where no one goes. Rather than being on a crucial, trade route. Calosa, you're back. What did Nanamo... Oh, sorry. Are you allowed to talk about your audience with the Sultana? Actually, that's what I'm here about. So, Raubon says he's going to return to Ul'dah, but she isn't sure he wants to. Tell us something we don't know, but I'm pleased to hear she's committed to helping our refugees come home. And this plan to revitalize the Saltery does make a lot of sense. Quite how you convinced her to seek Lolorito's help is another question. After all that has happened, he is the very person I would expect to... He was the very last person I would expect her to turn to for advice. But on a more practical note, Lyse, assuming the interim government elects to accept Ul'dah's proposal, I have one caveat I would like you to include in the bargain. Ala Mhigo must be permitted to cover a portion of the investment. We have a fortune at our disposal after all, and allowing Ul'dah to provide the entirety of the capital will afford Lolorito too much control. Honestly, Alphino, it's like Kugane never happened. What exactly does a ruthless profiteer have to do to earn your trust? But yes, you do make a good point. First things first, though, we need to discuss this proposal to the Saltery's residents. Whiskar, he's already here. How do you fancy explaining the Sultana's plan to your grandfather? I'd like to hear what Wat thinks of the idea before agreeing to anything.
Right away, Commander. Would you mind coming along too, Calosa? I might need to fill you in on the details.
Then I shall come as well. Should Wat wish to discuss figures, my knowledge of the nation's finances may prove useful. Yeah, isolation makes demand for I'm thinking of the Japanese term, which is like famous goods. Like, yeah, Meibutsu. But like, yeah, that kind of thing. Actually, can I slide in here? I can. Yes. Yo, losers! I'm gonna shoot arrows at you. Pew, 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 pew! Got him. Anyway, let's go. And so, yeah, if you live in an isolated area, then the famous or niche items that only you can provide are very, very expensive. Which is why the Silk Road the silk was so important, and why the Silk Road, why the Muslims, the Ottomans were so important, who were so intent on making sure that no one else could bypass it, so they had the monopoly on it. Delicacies? Yeah, but like even then, but even then, silk isn't really a delicacy. Let's go and see Granddad. He's gonna want to hear this. Ideally, one would want Ala Mhigo's stake to match Uldah's guild for guild, in combination with a cast iron contract that should serve to prevent Lolorito from making off with all of the profits. What manner of mischief brings you young'uns to all what this time, eh? Luxuries, kind of, but even then, like, you could have a luxury and not be and not be like specific to that area. They want to rebuild the Saltery, Granddad. Calosa, tell him about the deal. Well, bugger me. We've never had the coin or the hands to put the place back to how it was, but it sounds like that's about to change. There's just one small wrinkle in your plan. It doesn't account for all the nasties queuing up to eat anyone who goes near the shore. The king used to send soldiers to cull the buggers, but the Imperials weren't about to help the likes of us. Don't worry, Granddad, we'll take care of that. Commander Hext has been talking about starting up regular patrols, and I'm sure she'd assign me to the lock if I asked. I'd appreciate that, Scar, my lad. Truly I would. So, does this mean you've gotten better with that blade of yours? I've been training, but mostly to kill Imperials. You have some experience hunting monsters, don't you, Calosa? Think you could cast an eye over a few of the local beasties and teach me how to deal with them? Sure, leave it to me! Let's not waste any time then. I'll see you by the lock. Maybe there isn't a word for, like, niche items that only one person creates. Anyway. Whilst you are busy attending the local fauna, I shall have Master Watt explain to me exactly what is required to restore the Saltery to its former glory. Good hunting! But yeah, it's just like famous items in Japanese. It's just like, this is the thing. I love how there's just a little, oh no, that's not the Yabby. There's gonna be a Yabby soon. Apparently the Yabbies are an invasive species, cause like, the nobility liked to eat their tails, so they kept them like kind of like lobsters. And then like when Ala Mhigo fell, they all started escaping, and now they've just been running rampant through the area. Right there, Calosa. I've got a spyglass here you could use to take a close look at these pests. Once you got their measure, you could tell me what to do, and we'll see how well I get on. Search your surroundings for the Yabbies. You may move the camera. Commodity. Yeah, I guess commodity would probably be. That's probably the word I was thinking of. Anyway, it's really hard. What is it? What is the Yabby? It is the eye. But you gotta like there, or the jaw, whatever. But yeah, it's like right here. Yeah, it's right in this area, and it's easy to be like, oh, it's the eye. It's up here. It's nope. It's the jaw for some reason. I don't know. Don't ask questions. The Yabby's entire body is protected by a hard carapace, but the underside of the head looks softened but vulnerable. It looks like you found a Yabby. They say hitting the shell's like smacking a rock. Any suggestions? Aim for the soft... just hit it as hard as you can! Aim for the soft underside of the head.
Vulnerable under the head, are they? Right. Wish me luck.
Go, Iceguard, go! Got him! Yeah, the finger always clips through the rope. Don't look at it so much. This rope is like absolutely perfect in like every way, except the collar. My braids clip through the collar, and when I do the little finger thingy, it clips through the sleeves.
Thanks, Calosa. I did just as you told me, and the wavekin went down like a sack of popotos. Let's go find something else.
If you tell it to, if you tell him to just smack it really hard, he's like, "Whoa, it just happened. I guess it worked. Oh, question mark." It's really dumb. I mean, I guess it's kind of funny for the fact that it's stupid, but like, yeah.
I think I can handle the yabbies now, so we should try something different. What else is out there?
We gotta search out for come on for hoe bads. I said come on for hoe bads. Everybody to the limit. Everybody to the limit. Everybody come on for hoe bad. I said ooh ah for hoe bad. I said ooh ah for hoe bad. Oh, this one's the eye. Who's that for what? I said for bad. Oh, I didn't actually click on the eye because I was too busy dancing. Aqua's outfit also does collar clipping. Yeah. There's always like one thing that happens, and I try really hard to like find an outfit that is like perfect about it, but like or an outfit or like a hairstyle that matches and stuff, but like it's really hard. Which is why, like, it's like, oh, we can't do we can't do helmets on Vieira because of clipping issues, or even Hrothgar, and it's like, why? You just freaking put it on. I don't know, whatever. Don't worry about clipping. No one cares.
Phobad, how do I defeat one of those?
Destroy the core within the brow. Just hit it really, really hard as you can. Destroy the core within its brow.
Inside its head, is it? We'll try to stab it right between the eyes, then.
Good job. You did it. Come on for hoe bad. Come on for hoe bad. Everybody to the limit. Who's that? It's to the limit. Everybody come on for hoe bad.
It's not easy. Fighting with the Liberator of Ala Mhigo watching your every move. But I got the job done. Thanks for the advice, Calosa. I feel a lot better prepared for my patrols now. Any road, we should head back to the Saltery before Granddad starts to worry I've been snipped into pieces and fed to a Yabby's hatchlings.
Exactamundo. To the limit. The cheat is to the limit. Everybody come on fucking with that.
I see you've returned in one piece. Dealt with those beasties then, did you? I fought it myself, after a bit of instruction from Calosa here, like. Once I've shared what I've learned with the others, we should have no trouble keeping the shoreline clear. Good lad. A fine young man you've become, Wyscar. Fine young man indeed. Too often of late I hear tales of folk over in the city drunk on victory and hungry for revenge, their heads stuck firmly in the past.
But we need to set our sights on the future, on things which will improve our lot. Things like getting the Saltery ready to welcome our long-lost countrymen. You got it. Alphenor seems satisfied that he and Watt are of one mind. It seems Weisgar has the Saltery's security well in hand. I, meanwhile, have discussed the next steps with Master Watt and completed my inspection of the site. With a little work, the vacant buildings here could be made into very presentable dwellings.
Message from General Alden! Apologies for the interruption, miss, but the General would speak to you at your earliest convenience.
What's it about? Do not feel obligated to wait around on my account. I will remain here to hammer out the finer details with Watt and act as an intermediary with our business partners in Ul'dah. You should go.
General Alden asked that you wait for him by the main gate in the Ala Mhigo quarter. My apologies again, miss. Fare you well!
What could it be? Yeah. I think I know where we can end this, so it's probably gonna come up soon. Anyway, oh yeah, remember that big flag in Fordola's vision was Garlemald, but now it's Ala Mhigo. Yeah! Oh, I passed by it because I was looking at the cool flag.
Apologies for the wait.
No worries. What's up?
People are screaming for the butcher's blood again. No sooner have we broken up one mob than another forms. Thankfully, all have been amenable to reason, thus far.
Thus far.
But it is no concern of yours. We must speak of the men Arenvald and his comrades apprehended in the peaks.
In the peaks? Who? What?
By their uniforms, the captives were first judged to be Imperial troops. But after further investigation, their true identities came to light. I dare say you remember Yuyuhasi and Laurentius, the fugitives who conspired with Captain Ilberd in the Crystal Brave's betrayal.
No!
Aye, well, it would seem they followed him all the way to the wall. It was they who orchestrated the slaughter of the resistance fighters prior to the Griffin's infernal ritual.
No.
Were it in your hands, how would you punish these men?
Lyse has told me, and it's true, execution is not the answer. It doesn't matter what they did.
You would spare these animals. Yours is a more merciful brand of justice than mine. In any event, I thank you for your honesty. When the time comes for the Alliance to pass judgment, I'll see that your opinion is heard. Well, that concludes our business here. But there is more I would say. Walk with me.
Of course. Yeah, Aqua. I still want to believe that Laurentius can be shown that, because a lot of times he felt like he was feeling.
I bear a share of the blame for Ilberd's atrocities.
Had I openly supported the cause of Ala Mhigan liberation, he might not have felt driven to do what he did.
Oh, please. Yeah, and what? Go send all of the Ul'dan people to die so that in a fruitless war, and then have everyone, then have the people in Ul'dan riot all the time? Like, that would have helped.
Things could have been different, and I'm sorry they aren't.
Don't worry about it, Raubon. Don't worry.
But even after all that has happened, my homeland is free. With the Scions and the Alliance at their side, my countrymen have reclaimed what many thought lost forever. Under her new leadership, I have every confidence that Ala Mhigo will emerge from the shadow of the Empire and rise once more to greatness.
I believe so too.
Which means my work here is done. Soon I will return to Ul'dah and take my place at the Sultana's side.
Father...
I'll not deny there's a part of me that wants to stay. The same part that contemplated renouncing my rank and joining you as a wandering sellsword. But I pledged my blade to Nanamo, and I will not betray that oath.
Is this truly what you want, Father?
It is. Ever has my sword been hers to command, and ever shall it remain. Thank you for lending an ear. When all the rest are clamoring for me to stay, I trust you'll send me on my way.
The starry sky. But covered up by the clouds of doubt. Yo, Arnvald. I was just on my way to the Saltery. It's lucky I saw you. Arenvald seems flustered. Something is amiss. That took longer than I intended, but at least you know where I stand. Now that's settled, Arenvald, what news? We may have a problem, sir. A group of Ananta has arrived at the main gates, and I don't mean the Vera. These are Kalyana, the ones that summon the Primal. They're insisting that they be allowed to attend the council. Lyse is trying to reason with them, but she may need help. An invitation was extended to all the native beast tribes, but we assumed that Kalyana would refuse it out of hand. We had best go and see for ourselves. Pippin, take command of our forces and be ready for battle. Calosa. Oh, bleh! Calosa, you've dealt with these Kalyana before. I'd have you at my side. Okay! Oh, there they all are. Lyse, what's up? Calosa, Raubon! Gods, it's good to see you. Ah, the Slayer has come. Yo, Shanti, sorry about your daughter being dead. We have not forgotten how you sinned against the Lady of Bliss, but we did not come here to shed blood. You claim to seek harmony with all who call Girabanya home. If this is truly your wish, you will welcome us as envoys of the Ananta. It is our wish, and you are welcome, but we cannot condone the summoning of primals. If you want to enter the palace, I must ask that you first surrender any crystal jewelry. You have my word it will be returned to you when the meeting is over. We will do as you ask, but we will not give you our weapons. We are not so foolish as to place ourselves entirely at the mercy of our tormentors.
I reckon that's the closest we're gonna get to a compromise, and we will have people standing guard. I let them keep their swords.
Then we have an agreement. Lead the way to your meeting chamber.
Okay. Why do I have the feeling we've welcomed a viper into our midst?
Hey now, that's racist. They're perfectly fine and nothing bad will happen. Turning the Caliana away now would have made a mockery of Lyse's promise to give everyone a say. She couldn't not let them in. Raoban seems convinced by the Caliana's sincerity. Unconvinced by Caliana's sincerity.
The Caliana Elder's intention seems at odds with all we know of her tribe. What do you think, Calosa?
Mayhap even the enthralled can learn to compromise? Let's not be racist?
You believe an understanding can be reached? 'Tis not entirely unheard of, I suppose. Those who followed Saint Shiva eventually sought reconciliation with Ishgard. Whatever the truth, I would take no chances. The guard must be strengthened, ideally with people who know a thing or two about primals. Can we rely on the scions?
You got this.
I'll round up our comrades and send them to the Ala Mhigo quarter. You can go on ahead if you like, Calosa. My thanks. I will see you at the palace.
See you, Arenvald. Actually, while we're going, sightseeing log. Oh, there it is. This is the sunken destroyer. This image of the destroyer was erected on Loch Sel to mark the Fist of Rhalgr's designation as the state religion of Ala Mhigo. Then the faith's star waxed bright, but such days were not to endure. Deeming the monks a threat to his rule, the Mad King set about to their destruction and ordered his personal guard to tear down the image, sending it sinking to the depths. Oh, that was the king. That was Theodric who did that. I was saying it was the Garleans.
Hey, good thing we found that thing and then fixed it up so that we could see what the story was. Thanks, Aqua.
Even I don't know absolutely everything. Hey, we've got scions!
Calosa, I brought reinforcements.
Arenvald told me of the arrival of our unexpected guests, and I agreed that it would be prudent to call upon Y'shtola and Thancred as well. One can never be too careful when dealing with the enthralled.
I'm not familiar with the Caliana tribe myself, but Alice's report suggested that they shunned contact with other races. Despised it, in fact, even compared to other Ananta.
Indeed, this apparent reversal in attitude is most curious. No one expected a response from our invitation, much less an envoy. And I imagine Lyse was forced to make some rather hasty arrangements in order to accommodate them.
Speaking of which, how should we deploy ourselves?
If the meeting is to be held in the throne room, 'twould be wise to have eyes both inside and outside the palace.
Y'shtola and I can stand guard without. That leaves the three of you to keep watch over proceedings in the throne room itself.
Mm-hmm. Understood. We should join General Alden inside then.
Calosa, do you know of the rear entrance to the palace? It's on the eastern edge of the city, at the top of the stairs. The guard there should have been instructed to let us pass.
Thancred really doesn't want to get a haircut. It's almost as bad as Estinia not wanting to take a bath. Slowly turns to the camera.
Leave the external security to us, Calosa. I scouted around the palace quite extensively while searching for Krile, so I know the lay of the land.
As fortune would have it, I was visiting Ralgo's Reach to look in on Lyse. She sends her regards.
The rear entrance to the palace is just up these steps. The guards should wave us through.
If we should somehow come to an understanding with the Kalyani, it would represent a great leap toward resolving the primal dilemma in Ala Mhigo. I only hope they are sincere in their intentions.
You're with the Scions, miss. General Alden left orders that you were to be escorted inside. If you'll allow me...
Let's do it.
Thank you all for coming. I am Lyse Hext, and I speak for the Resistance.
And I speak for the trees.
Among you are village elders, refugee leaders, envoys from the Ananta and the Cocoon. You've come from every corner of Girabania to help decide the future of Ala Mhigo. But before that, I want to ask you a question. What was the first thing you noticed when you came in? For me, it was that empty throne. It has no one to sit on it now. No viceroy, no king. Would any of you like to take their place?
No!
Or should someone else sit there?
Absolutely not.
Then let's sit here in a circle. As equals, and I hope, as friends.
Yeah, Aqua! Aqua's giving a little heart. Giving their own opinion.
Expertly done. Lyse has removed monarchy as a choice early in the game, and position them to consider a joint government. All things considered, I would say events have got off to a fine start.
Easy. We did this. Yeah, good job, Lyse.
And that is Alagana's stance on the matter.
Thank you, Regenfrid. Another vote in favor. Next, let's hear from Shanti of the Kalyana. Tell us, how do your people feel about the idea of a republic?
The Ananta wish only that those who dwell within Girabania devote themselves to our faith. You shall all worship Sri Lakshmi!
What?
Lady of Bliss, grace us once more with your beauteous visage!
Crystals? Hidden in the water? What the?
This can't be happening. No crystals were allowed through the door.
You shall all worship Sri Lakshmi! Alteron, how about no, crazy lady?
We can worry about the how of it later. We need to evacuate these people right now, or the Primal will make thralls of them all.
It's up to us.
You got it, Orenfald. Rip Shanti. Gone the her daughter. Everyone get out of here now! No! We've got to do what we can to block her power. Let's do this.
Gods damn it! The guards were already turned!
That's why they brought the crystals in.
Fools!
Kirby!
No, you don't!
The Kaliana would see us all enthralled.
Then they're going to be sorely disappointed. We have the Warrior of Light and Arenvald to shield us.
Aye, but they can't well defend your guests and attack the Primal, can they? We're stuck on the back foot.
All right, I think I have an idea. Keep these people safe, General. I'll be back as soon as I can.
Lyse? Wow! Super cool flip.
Ah, whatever she's about, she'd best make it quick. Come then. Who will be next to die on my steel?
Heck yeah! Alright, time for a cliffhanger. No, I'm joking. Alright, let's do this. How do we fight her without leaving our allies wide open? We can't stay on the back foot forever. No. Damn it, I think that way we've already lost. I have the Warrior of Light at my side. We can do this! Isn't that right, Calosa? Use the duty action deflect to dissipate the ether spheres Lakshmi creates during the battle. Be warned that allowing an ally to be enthralled by an ether sphere will result in failure. Let's do this. Lyse, more like leaves at the first sign of trouble. I got him, Alteron. Leaders of Girabanya, accept my love and worship my light. She means to enthrall everyone. We have to stop her. They've done a flying job of blocking our retreat. We must break through. Forget the primal and focus on the foe before you. Thanks, Arenvald.
I offer you peace and serenity.
The Nazis give up the freedom we worked so hard to win? Not likely! Thanks for just standing there, Arenvald. That's cool. Do not your mortal bodies tire. Far better to dwell within the dream. To keep our eyes open, thank you very much! So your deflect is an AoE. It can hit multiple orbs at once, so be sure to use them. Be sure to try and hit them like multiple ones at once. Ah! Ah! Arenvald! Do you flush? Arenvald, I trusted you! Thank
I
you.
shall free you from your hate.
Ah! There are too many. We can't stop them all. Oh no! No! out deflect is an AoE. You're welcome.
Damn it all! It's only a matter of time before we miss one.
Can't do it. No! Fordola?
What of it? Do you want to kill this thing or not?
I do, actually. Let's do this. Why? Why do you deny my blessing? You who defy me shall rest in death. They brought you to this world over a mistake I made, and I'll be damned if I let you taunt me with it. Where did she go?
Stay on your guard! I'll cut us a path. Stand ready!
You cannot flee my radiance. You will all be my dreamers. No! Her presence is overwhelming!
Roger, save us! After all that's happened!
We'll not lock her down as best we can. The rest of you need to run! I'm trapped! Quickly now, while the primal is... Lyse! I can't run away from this. They need us!
Then stand and fight together! Alphino, the envoys are in your care!
Surely you do not mean to... Very well. I shall see our guests to safety. They forsake eternal bliss! All of you, to me! Whoa! Why are you two staying? She has more than enough strength to addle you both. You need more than 3 to best a primal, and if you don't want to fall here, who'll be left to stop her? Pitiful, misguided children. Lay down your weapons. Lay down your heads. No! I can't move! She's going after Lyse and Raubon! Press the button! Ah! Ah! Got 'em all!
My thanks, Calosa. I'll make sure my steel is worth the effort.
Again and again you refuse my gift!
Do not your souls weigh heavy?
She's building up something big! Come closer to me, all of you!
Nice work, Fordola. Are you alright, though?
This is nothing! Ugh, it's one thing after another. We have to fight as one! Raubon? 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 No! Not fair! Not fair! She's starting to weaken. Don't give up. Behold my divine brilliance. What the? Her power's out of control. I'll shield us, but you have to finish her off. No, well, Verdula's taking the brunt of it. I'll not lose to the likes of this. Quickly, I can't hold her off forever. Kella, you need to kill her now!
Here it comes!
Hold on, Perdola! We end this! For Ala Mhigo! Yeah! Let me breathe! Goodbye, Lakshmi.
We did it! We beat her!
We did. Oh! Echoed! Her sword.
What is this?
I'm only gonna say this once. The Ananta just summoned their primal in the throne room. My friends are fighting her, but they need help. They need someone with the echo, and by the gods, I wish I had it, but I don't. I told you before that you still had time, but things have changed. I need your answer now. You can end it like Xenos, or you can fight for Ala Mhigo. Your choice.
For Ala Mhigo. Heck yeah! Fordola. Yeah.
7 hells. It's her, the butcher.
Oh. All of the people that the skulls hurt, abused, and killed. Good, Fordola.
It's done. Take me back to my cell.
are not forgiven. Not you. You I will never forgive. But I will thank you. For standing against a primal and saving us from servitude. You have my thanks.
The tear. That was unlike any battle I had ever seen. I'm not entirely sure how I survived it, to be honest. You had a good healer, that's why. I think I shall make it a habit of checking for primal influence before our meetings from now on. Lyse is certainly living up to her own ideal. Not every commander would choose to enlist a former enemy's aid in battle. One wrong step and I would have lost my will to that fiend for the rest of my days. Is a sobering thought. We encountered our fair share of enthralled outside the palace, enough to delay us from lending you a timely hand, I'm afraid. Oh, what did they say? The disgrace of Alananta.
My thanks. I thought myself done for.
Was ill prepared for such a meeting.
Saved by the butcher. The bloody butcher!
This was a right mess, wasn't it? Well fought, Calosa, are involved. That was a near thing.
And, I think Aqua is responding to the one tear, yeah, but Aqua is doing the little cry emoji, too.
Poor Fordola.
Aye, our stand against the Kalana would have been brief indeed had you not volunteered for guard duty. We'd been enthralled as surely as our sentries were. They must have planned this far in advance.
Security was my responsibility, and I know how dangerous primals can be. I should have...
It's my fault! My stupid mistake! Nay, lass, we were all caught unawares. We will take this as a lesson and watch our own more carefully in the future. You can be sure that the lackeys who smuggled the crystals into the throne room weren't the only thralls in our ranks. The soldier who first spoke up in favor of the Kaliana keeping their weapon springs to mind.
A primal servant is betrayed by his aura. Do you mean to conduct an investigation? I can identify any others acting under Sri Lakshmi's influence. Thanks, Y'shtola. We'd appreciate the help.
Speaking of help, I almost fell over when Fordola showed up. What was she even doing here?
I asked her to come. Hey, at least it wasn't as big a screw-up as the Crystal Braves, Alphino! We're just never gonna stop dunking on him, are we, Alteron?
Well, that explains it then.
It's sad, but Ragnfrid was right. Her victims will never forgive her for what she's done. But I don't think Fordola picked up that sword looking for forgiveness. She wanted to fight for her country. If you say the world in which Fordola grew up is partly to blame for what she became, then as an Ala Mhigo, I feel responsible for improving that world. We can't ignore what's happening right now. We have to show people a better way than vengeance, or we risk giving birth to a new generation of skulls. I know it's idealistic, but I want to help people let go of their old grievances and make peace with each other. And I'll hold 1,000 meetings and talk till I'm blue in the face if that's what it takes. 'Tis a long and arduous path you have chosen, but one well worth taking. Rest assured that I will do what I can to help you reach your destination. Thank you, Alphino. The first step will be to get our representatives back in the throne room. They're a little shaken, but none of them seemed ready to run. We're all determined to finish what we started.
I will see you're not interrupted. Calosa, you and the scions are to stand down. Get some rest. You've earned it.
Now, it's already a little late. But hey, Raubon.
A fine spot to contemplate the heavens.
It is, isn't it?
The meeting is over. The envoys have chosen to instate a government model on Ishgard's House of Commons, a ruling body of representatives elected by the people. It is a fair decision, and one which signals the end of my part in all this. But I would gaze upon Girabania's stars one last time before I leave.
Have a good time, Raubon. Animal? You're here. Go ahead. I'll leave you two to talk.
Forget something? Your Grace, there was no word.
Raubon Aldin, you are hereby dismissed as General of the Immortal Flames and relieved of your seat on the Syndicate.
But, Your Grace...
I love Alteron. I'm here to pick up my son. He hasn't been much trouble, has he? Raubon is just not a most son. Raubon, thank the Warrior of Light for looking after you. Thanks, Alteron. And Aqua, Raubon, stop lying to yourself. Also, you're fired.
Raubon, I am no longer a child. Stay here in your homeland. Work with your brethren. Rebuild Ala Mhigo.
You desire to stand alone. I understand, but remember what happened.
I remember full well the consequences of my naivety, and thus did I consult at length with a most trusted advisor ere I embarked upon this course.
A most trusted advisor? And what of me? Am I no longer deserving of your confidence?
What trust can there be between us when you withhold the truth from me? Did you think me oblivious to the anguish in your eyes when you spoke of returning to Uldar? For years and years, we have trusted one another. Yet now you refuse to confess your heart's desire?
I swore an oath to you that day on the sands. I pledged my sword.
And it has served me well. But in Pippin you have forged a new sword, as sharp and deadly as the blade you bequeathed him. I will show you a Sultana who can wield every weapon at her disposal, including Lolorito and his monetarist cronies. So follow your heart, please. You are home. You are free.
Nanamo.
Smile for me, Raubon. I would have this parting be a joyous one.
Thank you, Your Grace. It has been an honor to serve you and Oda.
Tomorrow you will serve Ala Mhigo and fight for the good of all Eorzea. Am I understood?
Yes, Your Grace.
And the shooting star! Nanamo makes me cry every damn time she's on the screen, Alteron says. What was it? What was it? Have you ever seen a girl so cute you start to cry? Yeah. Yeah, and awkward, you're sad. Hardvault is up in age with Bordeaux, both of them born Ala Mhigo. One never wanted his Garlean blood, and the other tried to become Garlean, but could never be. Similar yet opposite, which would go some way to explaining the tension between them. I went to see Fordola in her cell again. She did turn the tide of battle after all, and I thought it only right to thank her. But she wouldn't listen. She said she neither wanted nor needed my gratitude, and I should go away. I don't know if I'll ever understand her.
Thanks for shielding us from Lakshmi, you two. If you hadn't been there, the rest of us would be worshipping her by now.
You're kind to include me, Lyse. But we both know who did most of the work.
Yep.
I could scarce keep track of the battle, let alone land a telling blow. No shame in admitting it. The Warrior of Light has put far better men than me in the shade.
Did I mention that I encountered the Sultana in the palace? It would seem Her Grace has come to Girabania to oversee the final stages of her relocation project.
Heck yeah!
She was in search of General Oldin, and I directed her to the rooftop garden. I do hope you were still there.
Are you in the habit of gossiping about the affairs of royalty, Master Leveilleur?
Certainly not, Your Grace. I was merely informing my companions.
Beatrice Alphinaud was only a jest.
I remember my dad getting super mad, like, wow, look at this lady just throwing her royalty around and just scare people into getting, like, thinking that they're gonna get their heads cut off. And I was like, ah, Dad. Ah, Dad hates royalty. Alphinaud getting called down again every time. It's true, Alteron.
But I must yield the floor to Rauban. He has an important announcement to make.
As of yesternight, I have been relieved of my post in the Immortal Flames and the Syndicate both.
Yeah, wait, what?
I shall be assuming my father's duties. And may I say that Tizona has never felt heavier upon my back.
Twould seem I am in need of employment. Mayhap one of my old acquaintances can introduce me to a mercenary company or some such.
You may be getting on in years, Father, but you'd struggle to find a band of sellswords who wouldn't snap your hand off. Your remaining hand.
Wow. Wow, Pippin.
Yes, the bull of Ala Mhigo need not be put out to pasture just yet.
Your Grace has developed a wicked edge to her humor. And you, Pippin, would do well not to laugh when the future may hold the same for you.
Oh, got him.
Does this mean you're staying?
Aye. That seems to be the way of it. I would be glad to aid you in rebuilding our nation, if you'll have me.
And Pippin just falls over backwards because Tizana became too heavy. But, thanks, Alteron.
If, he says. Welcome home, Rauban.
Well, that was unexpected. Though you seem distinctly unsurprised.
Yay! Oh, I knew it all along. Aqua just, yay!
Either you are more astute than I give you credit for, or I'm losing my touch.
It's okay, Alphino.
In any event, one thing is certain. Ala Mhigo will rejoice at the homecoming of her dearest son.
Huzzah! I must assume father's responsibilities without delay, lest our rivals, both inside and outside Uldar, treat his dismissal as a window of opportunity. Rest assured, they will find Tizona's edge just as sharp in my hands.
It seems my road has come full circle, and I appreciate the support you showed for my earlier decision, overruled though it was.
I have asked enough of you, Calosa. My only words for you now are those of gratitude.
Oh, she's doing the Chichale stance.
I approve. Thumbs up. Yeah, good job, Nanamo. You tell those people what foe.
Lyse must be overjoyed to know that General Alden is staying, though I suppose I shouldn't call him General anymore.
Rauban is the veteran of 100 battlefields. Lyse could not ask for a more reliable ally to have at her side.
I think it's about time I headed back to Rhalgr's Reach. What's next for all of you? Alice will be eager to hear of recent events, so I shall join you, if you've no objections. I'd welcome the company. Calosa, why don't you come along to the Reach as well, once you've said your farewells to Nanamo and the others?
Already did! Let's get out of here. Whoop! Oh, upon completion of this quest, you'll be able to access the palace's rooftop gardens by speaking to the Royal Menagerie attendant. Yeah. But we gotta complete it first. I'm gonna do a thing with that handshake. Oh no, I'm scared. This was the chocobo. This was the chocobo that that Mishu's cat got angry with and was attacking on the screen while it was flying around. I mean, his tail feathers are pretty pretty vibrant, and so it's easy to wanna. Oh, I'm excited, Alteron. I'm excited for tomorrow then. You've a heart of gold, Calosa. We could never have come this far without you. Oh yeah, no. Well, here we are again. Alphino has regaled me with a thrilling tale of hidden treasures, mid-meeting betrayals, unlikely alliances, and joyous homecomings. It would seem I missed, well, everything. I was patrolling the palace grounds with Thancred and Y'shtola when we heard the report of a primal in the throne room. I honestly doubted my own ears. Welcome back, Alice. Aqua's excited. As others have said, we were lucky to have our Echo-blessed champions nearby this time, but we'd need to keep a close eye on the Kaliana. You could say that again. This whole episode has reminded me just how far apart our kinds still are.
It looks like centuries of fear and mistrust really can't be washed away in a day, but someone has to make an effort at reconciliation if those conflicts are ever going to end. Naturally, a lot of people are crying out for vengeance, but I've been doing my best to calm things down. Violent reprisals will only lead to more summonings. Indeed, violence will ever beget more violence, as the Empire has learned to its cost in recent times. In any case, summoning Lakshmi was the Broodmother's doing, and whoever replaces her might would not be so keen on the idea. We'll just have to watch and wait. Which isn't to say we won't be putting the safety of our allies in the Vera and M tribes first. I plan to have the Resistance Scouts keep track of the Kalyanis movement at all times. My parents would be relieved to hear that. What are your plans for the rest of the Resistance army, out of interest? Are we preparing for the Imperial counterattacks? That would be a question for the Resistance's newest recruit, a military commander with far more experience than me. What? The Bull of Ala Mhigo? We call it an army, but the Resistance is really a collection of smaller, independent groups. And when Conrad passed his command on to me, that authority only extended to the freedom fighters based in Ralger's Reach. He just happened to be serving as the Resistance spokesman at the time and needed someone to take over the role while everything was in disarray. But that time has passed. When I speak with the other leaders about reforming the army under the new government, I'll be nominating Raoban as the overall commander of our forces. He has more experience than the rest of us put together, and we stand to learn a lot from him. Indeed, he is in all respects the ideal choice. Assuming he accepts the post, Ala Mhigo will have added a formidable weapon to its arsenal. And given the progress of Nanamo's resettlement initiative, I see great cause for hope. The seeds which we so carefully sowed have begun to quicken, my friends. I like that. We tend to our promises and watch as Ala Mhigo blooms. Huzzah! Finally! Cutscene? Meanwhile, in Kugane... I do give thanks to the Kami for that my makeshift raft withstood the fury of the seas. But there their generosity ended. Without coins in our pockets for new attire, we are doomed to look like so much jetsam. All war betide the poor man in a city of rich merchants. Dangode. These dango are delicious. Will you have one? More sweetbreads! I surrendered my blade to secure what few coins we have! Huh? Dango, dango, dango. Time for dango, my favorite. Bah! 'Tis like talking to a child. Why fate saddled me with this burden I shall never know, but I am alive and I must return to my master's side. Come, Tsuyu. We shall find a ship to carry us across the Ruby Sea. Oh. Huh? Wait for me! Elvie is mentioning, I enjoyed this turn in the story with Gosetsu. It's gonna be great. Meanwhile, in the Imperial Palace... Have you heard the reports? First Doma, then Ala Mhigo, and Lord Xenos put to the sword! Do not believe everything you read. I hear the voice Roy was merely wounded, and that he has already returned to the capital. Naturally, the savages beat their chests and boast loudly of taking his head regardless.
Lord Xenos lives?
What? Deplorable that our own officers should be fooled by Eorzean misinformation. Small wonder the provinces have been rising up in rebellion. We must prepare an official and, above all, accurate announcement to quell these pernicious rumors.
They would wage war with empty words. Let them produce the Viceroy's remains, then. We shall soon put the lie to their claims.
Yes, exactly. That is just what I was mentioning. And a mysterious person clenching their fist and then walking off screen.
Who could it be?
We'll have to figure out another time. 4.1 finished. Whew, it's late. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. We're gonna do more stuff later on. That's a song about doing things later on. It'll be 4.2 next time. Yeah! Thanks, everyone, for coming along. I will see you guys another time, because I am a slappy baby. Oh, but, Aqua, stick around. I'll meet you on Discord for a sec. But, everyone else, see you in